Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem sung by the amazing Maddie Patford. Good job once again. All right, let's give it up for our Renegades and Warrior players one more time, please.
Good afternoon, football fans. I'd like to welcome you to Westshore Stadium for a BCFC matchup today between the visiting Kamloops Broncos and the Westshore Rebels. This game is brought to you by BCFT, powered by Remax Kamloops. This is an important game today as it's a four-pointer that was from the canceled game from August 18th. So what happens on the field today will have a huge impact on the standings at the end of this game. Kamloops comes in here after a loss last week in Kamloops against the Valley Huskers, who scored 31 unanswered first quarter points for a 49-26 victory. Good afternoon, football fans. Kamloops comes in here after a loss last week in Kamloops against the Valley Huskers, who scored 31 unanswered first quarter points for a 49-26 victory, while the Rebels lost up in Nanaimo 32-17 to the Raiders. So I want you to sit back, enjoy the game, and we'll see you at the kickoff. Anytime. All right, welcome back, football fans, to West Hill Stadium here in Langford, British Columbia for a game between the Kamloops Broncos and the hometown Westshore Rebels. The weather's started out not too bad, but it looks like right now it's going to cloud over and we could get a few showers before this game is done. It's an important game based on the fact that it's a 4-point game, and that was due to the cancellation of the game on August 18th due to the forest fire hazards up in Kamloops, which created some unhealthy air quality. Controversial decision at the time to the league, and it created a domino effect within the Rebels organization, where their head coach Charlie Carlicchia, made some comments in the Kamloops newspaper, and subsequently he had been suspended for 3 games, and that started a downfall where Charlie unfortunately resigned, and Shane Beatty, former head coach at the Okanagan Sun, now takes over the Rebels, and this is his third game under his direction. Kamloops is coached by Brad Yamoka, former BC Lion and Winnipeg Blue Bomber. He played, I think it was 104 games in his CFL career, and he currently has a record. This is his 4th season with the Broncos, and currently has a record of 9 wins and 25 losses. And the Broncos enter this game 0-4 on the season, and I guess it's 1 win in the last 13 games for them. coming in here, and they don't have very much success coming into Victoria. They've only won 3 out of 14 games. The last win came in 2015. The 4-point game is kind of interesting. It's unique that it's only that we could find to be put out once before in the BCFC history. It had happened in 1973, and I happened to be an assistant coach in that team when there was a ferry strike, and our Victoria Dolphin team, which was the junior team in Victoria at the time, were unable to get off the island for a game. And so we had to play another game on the mainland to make that up, and that was a 4-pointer, but unfortunately we lost. But that's a long time ago. That's 45 years ago, and that either says I've been around this game too long, but I still feel young. So it looks like the Rebels will be receiving the kickoff. They'll be moving from your right to left and dressed in red and white trim, and the Kamloops Cowboys coming in with their traditional blue, orange, and white, with their white away jerseys today with the blue pants and blue and orange trim. Teeing up the ball for the Kamloops, number 15, Bryce Kuchar. And deep for the Rebels, Kane Stevenson and Cody Holmes, number 10. He was coming off a suspension from the game that was here with a little bit of the brawl between the Raiders and Rebels on August 25th. Kane Stevenson with the football. He runs it back to about the 30-yard line. Tackled by number 34 for Kamloops, Justin Haverkamp. So Rebels have the football, be 1st and 10 at their own 33-yard line. Mason Brown at quarterback. Mason's in the shotgun. Beside him is number 21, Khalil James. It's a handoff to James. And he's met by the front line of the Broncos defense. It was led by the linebacker of number 36, Casey Powell, making that tackle. The loss of approximately 2 yards, being up 2nd and 12. Yeah, Kamloops having a little bit of trouble this year. They just can't get things working, and that's why in a 4-point game like this is important to put you back right into the mix for playoffs, and it moves a lot of teams around up and down the standings. Same can be said for the Rebels. They need a 4-point game to get their confidence back. They got to get their swagger, which they've had and have kind of lost. That's Brown throwing the ball down deep. Cody Holmes. That's a beautiful pass. I don't think there's any flags down. That's a first down. It was about a 45-yard throw. Mason Brown and number 10, Cody Holmes. Yeah, the Rebels, with the controversy surrounding the program over the loss of their head coach and, players suspended for that brawl game on the 25th of August, they just kind of lost their step, and now they've had a couple weeks on a new head coach, Shane Beatty, and you'll see a different type of team, a different type of tact and discipline. Hello, James straight up the middle on the trap play. And that's the 3rd play of the game. The Rebels score. Kel James on a 44-yard touchdown run. You see on the replay here, just a straight hand up. They just outran guys and wrong angles by some of the Broncos players, and a touchdown run. And that is his, if I remember correctly, that's his 3rd touchdown of the season. Kyle Clark on for the convert attempt, number 47. Ball's down. And the kick is in the pond. That's good.
And the extra point is good.
That makes the score 7-0 with 13:06 to go in the first quarter. I want to mention this game is brought to you by BCFC TV, powered by Remax Kamloops. We thank them for their support of BC Junior Football. So now the Broncos' turn here. They came in last night, stayed overnight. They're 4 Point Sheridan, not far from the field. And you have their legs underneath them. You get a chance to, you bond the team when you do something like that. Everybody gets together. You have a good time. But you are here to play some football. It's an opportunity for them to get the cobwebs out and get their game legs going. As I said earlier, the Broncos haven't recorded a victory here this year, and Rebels their record is 1 win, 2 losses, and a tie. They've got lost 2 in a row, back-to-back to the Raiders over the last 2 weeks. He's number 1 on the right-hand side, Michael Bragg. Bard, sorry. Taken by number 34 on the play, Justin Haverkamp. On the short kickoff by Kyle Clark. Looks like about a 3-yard return. And that'll give the Broncos 1st and 10 at about their 27-yard line. Number 9 at quarterback is Reed Vancanet. There's a hand off to number 17. That's Gabe Skolowski on the little jet sweep. And he fumbled the football, and it looks like the ball was knocked out of his hands. Not sure who got their hands on that. That might have been number 40, that Benjamin Pierick, that knocked the ball out. So the first turnover of the game, the Rebels take possession at the 27-yard line. 28-yard line, excuse me. Mason Brown is still a quarterback. Last week they signed former quarterback Ashton McKinnon, who had taken last year off in the first part of this year. Mason Brown on the fake handoff keeps the football for a loss of about a yard, half a yard. Tackled by number 60 on Kamloops, Damian Person, sorry. That brings up 2nd down and along 11. Rebels got the football at the 28. Brown in the shotgun. Khalil James just to his right. Going deep to Cody Holmes. Another nice pass, got a flag down. That could be a holding, but that was a beautiful pass by Mason Brown to Cody Holmes for the touchdown. But there is a flag down in the backfield. Normally that's a holding penalty. Looks like it might be hands to the face. So they'll definitely bring that back. They're not going to allow the touchdown to move it back 10 yards. And that's 2nd down, and it'll be along 21, 22-yard line. Yeah, that's what they called. Head official Kevin McWilliam called hands to the face, 15-yard penalty. So that'll move the ball back 15 yards. That'll bring up about a 2nd down and 27. The ball will be at the Kamloops 5-yard line. They've had some success throwing the ball deep over the middle, so you wouldn't be surprised to see something out of them at this point as well. That was a completed pass to number 1, Deshaun Greenaway. And it picked up around, I think about maybe 19 yards. That's going to bring up a 3rd down. We expect a field goal here. That'll be about a 20, maybe a 30-yard try. Looks like that's where they're going to put the tee down. Kyle Clark standing way deep there, who is going to be signaling this field goal attempt is Kyle's father, Murray Clark, who was in Montreal last night to do as a CFL official and was a deep judge between the Lions and the Montreal Alouettes. So he had the early flight back to Victoria. Kick is up. And it's good. That makes the score with 10:41 to go in the first quarter. Westshore Rebels 10, and the Kamloops Broncos nothing.
The Westshore Rebels would like to thank all of our media sponsors here today. I can see them around the stadium. Our community partners, which include Palestine Marketing.
So the Rebels will be kicking off from their own 45-yard line after the field goal. And deep for the Raiders, or sorry, the Broncos. Number 7, Andrew Pockernick. And I think it's number 17, Gabe Skoloski. It's either 17 or 13. I'm going to go with 17 because they don't have a 13 on the roster. Well, so far, a good opening for the Rebels. Jump ahead 10-0 early, and that's one of the things that the old Rebel teams love to do is when teams visit them, take advantage of their coming off a ferry or have to stay overnight, you know, which is, to some teams, they've never done it before. Skoloski on the return, starting at Rose 10-yard line. And he brings it up to about the 31-yard line. That's a good return. Good starting point for the Broncos at about their 31. Pushed out of bounds there by number 25, Ronan Silver. So 1st and 10, looks like they place the ball at the 32-yard line. Van Konet still at quarterback. Under the center this time. It's a pitch to number 7, Andrew Pockernick. He was tracked down behind by number 33, Jason Piper. As for a loss on the play, probably about a yard. Saying he lost a little bit more than that, so a little loss of 2, long 2. Bring up 2nd and 12. Their own 29-yard line. The shotgun, banking it. It's a long, wide open pass to number 3, Matt White. A little breakdown in coverage on that play. It gives a long pass completion for first down quickly in the Rebels territory with the ball 1st and 10 for the Broncos at the Rebels 38-yard line. Yeah, there definitely is a broken down play on that one. And there's no huddle here. They're just going to try to speed it up, not let the Rebels make any substitutions. Fake Pockernick. And they just throw that one away, out of bounds. No harm, no foul. That's one of the rule changes this year. The ball gets to the line of scrimmage, you can throw it out of bounds with no receivers in the area. So that brings up 2nd and 10 at the Rebels 38-yard line. Van Konen, it's still a quarterback in the shotgun. Pockernick just behind him in the pistol, as they call it. Give it to Pockernick. And he moves the ball down for a run of around 7 yards. And that'll bring up a 3rd down at the 30. 3rd down and about the long 2. Looks like they're going to go for it here. Nothing to lose. You're 0-4. Why not? You're on the road. A lot of people wrote you off in this game on the BCFC website. Everybody picked the Rebels to win this game. Like Pockernick again up the middle for 3 for 1st down. So it's going to give the Broncos 1st and 10 at about the 26-yard line of the Rebels. In the pistol, fake handoff, wrong way. And tracked down behind, by Byron McKinnon to make the tackle after maybe a half-yard gain. Bring up 2nd down, 9. Now that last play, he turned the wrong way. running back went, or the running back went the wrong way. Back to pass. And just swarmed under. Excuse me. That was Leonardo Ingram on the sack. A loss of about 5 yards. That's bring up 3rd and 15.
Loss for Broncos. Well, Westshore Rebels are proud members of the Canadian Junior Football League.
So it looks like Kuchar's going to come on and try the field goal attempt. It'll be about a 37-yard try.
And become a valuable contributor to our community. Visit cjfl.org for updates and information.
No, it looks like they're punting.
Follow us on Instagram at CJFL Football.
Yeah, Cody Holmes, and that's number 16 back there for the Rebels. Saad Sharif. Trying for the out of bounds kick, and that dropped out of bounds at about the 10-yard line, maybe somewhere in that area. That's where the ball turned over to the Rebels, 1st and 10. Long field in front of them. So the long pass didn't hurt the Rebels. They dug themselves in, and they said, we're going to make you punt. So Mason Brown still a quarterback. Rebels 1st and 10. Mason in the shotgun. To his left is Khalil James. 3 receivers to the left. Hand off to James and into the heart of the Broncos defense. Not sure who made that tackle, but there was a lot of white around him, that's for sure. So I was going to bring no gain. I don't know, it's saying a loss of about 1. I'll bring up a 2nd down and long. 6:35 to go here in the first quarter. Score 10-0 Rebels. Again, thank you for watching BCFC TV, powered by Remax Kamloops. Brown back to pass. Dump that off to Nate Filito. Number 80, I believe it was. And Nathan Filito for a pickup of approximately 14 yards and a 1st down. Gets you out of trouble real quick. That's what Mason Brown can do, is he runs with his legs, he sees with his eyes, and he's got a great arm. So he can make a lot of things happen on a play, and as a defense, you've got to respect that ability of his legs to make plays. So you got to make sure everybody stays in their pass lanes, and somebody's got to be mirroring them. Keep your shoulders square to the line of scrimmage. Again in the shotgun, 1st and 10. Brown back to pass. Just dump that off to Khalil James. Just again, that's where you move your feet. You stay above the ground, keep your eyes downfield, make things happen, and you stay out of trouble, stay out of the sack, and you pick up 6 yards and bring up a 2nd and 4, a real manageable 4. You can see on the replay, he just was running all over, kept everything square and his eyes downfield to find that open receiver. Just some big blockers here on this play. There he's going to throw. Just missed his receiver, James, on the little swing pass. It looked like they're trying to set up some sort of screen as well. You got a flag in the backfield. Head official Kevin McWilliam signals roughing the passer, moves the ball up 15 yards. That'll give the Rebels fresh set of downs at approximately there where the umpire stops. That looks like the 42-yard line. So the Rebels getting themselves out of trouble, first with Mason's legs and now with the help of a penalty. Keeping possession with the football, 4:35 to go in the first quarter. That was a very nice, somebody held on there and prevented that. It was number 20 on the Broncos to prevent James from breaking that. And that was Hazmad Nazardine. Limiting that gain to about three yards. Yeah, both teams are, it's an important game because both teams are looking for some stability here in their programs and, you know, make the move up or down or decide that, you know, this is the year we're going to rebuild and really work on the rebuilding part of it. That ball was put up in the air, long pass, and picked off by number 10, Caden Cook. That was a long pass. They take over possession about their own 31. And that was Mason's 6th interception this season. So that's going to give the Broncos on the turnover a first down at their own 31. 3 minutes and 40 seconds left in the first quarter. It's been kind of, other than a couple of long passes there, that one run, it's been kind of a little bit of a dull first quarter, to be honest with you. It's the run up the middle into the Rebels defense by number 7, Andrew Hockernick. A pick up about 5. Tackled by number 44, the Rebels E.T. And Kinnett back to pass, pulls the ball out. Again, a wide open guy on the perimeter of the Rebels defense. That's number 17, Gabe Skolowski, for the first down at about the Rebels 45-yard line, looks like, 44. Yeah, there are two big plays. Both have been first downs. Have been wide open guys on the perimeter, one left and one right. That's something the Rebels will have to address at some point in this game. It was good plays by the Kamloops Broncos. Didn't see who caught that, but it was, again, a nice pass. That's number 3, Matt White, on the reception. And a pickup of around 14 yards for the first down. That's their first consecutive first downs in this game. First and 10. Another completed pass. So a pickup of about 5 yards. Receiving end of that one was number 81, Thaish Duvenwald. Cody Holmes on the tackle, playing both ways, offensive defense today. After a suspension from last week for his actions in the game on August 25th. I got a second down and 5, second long 4. They run right up the middle. Excuse me. That was by number 25, Trent Price, for a first down. Moves the ball. Looks like to the 16, 10, 15, 22-yard line. Making at the pass, wide open for this touchdown. That's number 19, Darian Pritchard. And for Vankenik, that's his second touchdown pass of the season. You see on the replay, just wide open. Again, perimeter receiver going down the outside. A little crossing pattern between the inside and the outside guy, but perimeter attack just caught him outside. Bryce Kuchar for the convert attempt. Whistles blow. I think somebody moved on the offense. Yeah, procedure against the Kamloops Broncos, number 65, Hudson Barbio. So it moves it back 5 yards, and it'll be about a 15, 16-yard try. Kick is up, and it's good. So the score with 50 seconds left in the first quarter is Westshore Rebels 10 and the Kamloops Broncos 7.
Rebels players and support staff would like to thank Mayor Stu Young and the entire staff of the city of Langford for all their commitment and support throughout the season. Thank you, Mayor Young and staff. Today's game is brought to you by Alpine Limousine. Arrive safe and in style with Alpine's Limousines and White Glove Service.
So Kuchar will be kicking off from his own 45, and deep again for the Rebels. Looks like number 10, Cody Holmes, and on the far side, number 16, Asad Sharif, sorry. This one is the number 10, Holmes, picks it up at about his 10-yard line. Looks like he's got a wall here, one man to beat. Oh, nice tackle by number 2. That's Andrew Bayers. Very good tackler, Andrew. He's up in the top part of the stats in the BCFC. So it was a good return by Holmes. Moves the ball out to his own 49-yard line. The Rebels take over 1st and 10 after the kickoff return. Brown in the shotgun. Rebels leading 10-7. Brown to his right on the rollout. Complete a pass to number 1, Deshaun Greenaway. It's about a 15-yard gain. That'll bring up a 1st and 10, moving the ball into Broncos territory to approximately the 47-yard line, 46-yard line. Now this will be the last play of the first quarter. Again, Brown in the shotgun. Kyle James just to his right. Kane Stevenson in motion across the formation. There's a pass to Stevenson. Straight arms, makes the play. Tackled and pushed out of bounds by number 34, Justin Haverkamp, the leading tackler and point getter defensively for the Kamloops Broncos. But after a gain of about 13, it's going to give the Rebels a 1st and 10 at a Broncos 32-yard line when the second quarter begins. So at the end of the first quarter, you got the Westshore Rebels leading the Kamloops Broncos 10-7. You're watching BCFC TV's powered by Remax Kamloops. I want to thank everybody for tuning in, and hopefully you're enjoying a good game of junior football on a pleasant Saturday afternoon here in Langford, or if you're watching on the internet, wherever you are, that it's a nice sunny day and you're just having a beer and watching the game.
Purchase your 50/50 tickets, sports fans. Proceeds support your very own Westshore Rebels. We'll call the winning ticket in the fourth quarter. 50/50.
Yeah, so the Rebels will scrimmage 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line as we open up the second quarter. Don't have a very big crowd here today. It's not bad, but they kind of get more people when they play a 7 o'clock game, but it's not a bad crowd for the day for sure. And unfortunately, I hate to say it, but with the teams that are playing don't have the best records in the world. There's a long pass intended for Holmes, just off his fingertips out of bounds in the end zone. That'll bring up 2nd and 10. Yeah, both these teams are just trying to get things going. You know, the controversy swirling around the Rebels program a couple of weeks ago, kind of settling down. You don't hear too much more about it. And Kamloops, you know, anytime you are losing, it's a struggle to get the fans excited, and sometimes you get the players excited. You go into games figuring that, oh man, how are we going to win this? But it's just all about pulling together and everybody with the same positive attitude and just keep working hard. That's what it's all about. And Brown back to pass. Wide open Cody Holmes for his second touchdown of the day. That's a 32-yard scoring strike. And a beautiful pass. You see in the replay here, Mason Brown just drops off. He's got great protection. Stands in the pocket and throws a dart right over a little, what they call a dig route, where the receiver comes out from the inside across the defensive backfield, and you find the hole behind the linebackers in front of the defensive backs. And Kyle Clark on for the convert. And a kick on the roof for 1 point. Apologize, I gave Cody Holmes a touchdown in the first quarter, but that was actually by Khalil James on the run. Cody did catch a touchdown pass, but was called back for penalty of hands to the face. But that puts the Rebels up 17-7 with just 50 seconds into the second quarter. Kyle Clark lining the ball up for the kickoff. This game could get out of hand, you know, as you start to work and score with ease like that, as you know, driving the field and having some success on the long passes. It could be a large score for one side, and at this point, it looks like that one side could be the Rebels this afternoon. And number 17. Gabe Skoloski, and number 88, Ian Finstead deep for the Broncos. There's the kick. Skoloski on the return. Takes it to about his 11. That was a nice play by number 20, Connor Elliott, on the tackle. He just kept his feet, kept everything in front of him, didn't let the receiver outside. To limit the return to about a 20-yard return. So that's where the Kamloops Broncos will scrimmage, 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line. Reed Van Connect still in the quarterback. Behind him is number 25, Trent Price. In the pistol look, the quarterback's in a shotgun, and the running back behind him is a hand up the middle. Came running in, ran into the tackle of number 33, Jason Piper, for a gain of about 5. That big 2nd and 5. Ball at the 31-yard. The receiver open, he just threw an overthrown. Receiver tripped as he's running, but I don't think he would have caught it anyway. So it brings up a 3rd down. You see Kuchar on for the punt here. On the season, Bryce Kuchar's averaging a gross average about 33, 34 yards per punt. The big thing is he's got some good coverage, because the net average after the coverage is bringing it down to only 31, so that's pretty darn good. You're only giving up 2 yards on punt exchange with the return. So he'll be punting from his own 31-yard line. You got Cody Holmes deep, and number 19, I think it is, Jamel Moore. No, must be Keenan Gross. 16. That's Shad Sharif makes the reception. Tackled from behind by number 22, Cole Avery. Again, just good coverage. There's a high punt, makes the catch. Good coverage, keeps your net and gross punting average up there. So it's going to turn the ball over the Rebels. It'll be 1st and 10 at their own 43-yard line. Mason Brown still remains the quarterback, and as I said earlier, the other quarterback back into the program, Ashton McKinnon, hasn't seen any action today yet. But he's such a good athlete, you wouldn't be surprised to see him playing on the defensive side of the ball as well, if needed, or inside receiver. But the Rebels have a really good core of receivers. The handoff to James, backfield tackled right away by number 31, Joey Heisted. Limited to no gain, looks like, or a loss of maybe a yard. They'll bring up 2nd and 11, long 11, 2nd and 12. 12:03 to go here in the second quarter. Rebels up 17-7. You're watching BCFC TV, powered by Remax Kamloops. More great BC Junior Football League action. There's more games tonight too. There's a game in Langley between who are tied for first place, Valley Huskers and the Langley Rams. And up in Kelowna, the Sun are hosting the VI Raiders. Yeah, Mason, nobody open on that one. So he just took off and ran. They make the tackle. There was a high hand got to the head, but there was no face mask, that was for sure. Oh, but looks like he's got Mason Brown still on the ground. You can see here as he ran. It was a high tackle as he was going down. Just got his hands around the helmet, but I don't think it was an intentional grab of a face mask. When it was inadvertent ones where your hands are flailing all over the place, and as the ball carrier goes down, you make contact with his helmet. Yeah, looks like Mason might have hurt a knee or an ankle. I think they're looking at his left knee. There's a little twig, just a little twig. Sometimes you get hurt, but once you get up and you let your adrenaline take over, things start to heal pretty quick, and then you're just sort of back to normal. A little twinge here. And here comes Ashton McKinnon here for the punt on 3rd and 10. That's another one of the areas that he excels in. He's a pretty good punter. But they've also got him in sitting there. If Mason cannot return, they'll definitely be putting Ashton at quarterback. This is Rebels' first punt of the game. And deep for the Raiders for Kamloops is Gabe Skolosky and Michael Berge. Number 1. No, sorry, number 7, Andrew Pockernick. And a penalty here. This might be timeout, Westshore. Missing a guy. When you look at film, you don't like to be that guy that you're missing, because everybody sees you run on the field. Ashton back to punt, the first one for the Rebels this afternoon. Good snap. Not a bad punt. Going down to number 7, Pockernick. Cuts to his right, follows some blocking. He's found a hole. It's going to be tough to beat McKinnon, who makes the tackle. But I'm not sure whether there's a penalty flag in there by the umpire, number 59. That was a good return. He just started to his left, cut right back to his right. And he found his little hole, followed his blocking. Not sure if it's a high tackle penalty or if it's a hold against the Broncos, possibly. Some sort of penalty. I don't think it's against the Rebels, because the Rebels were in a chase mode. Didn't see that in the replay. Number 52 on the Rebels. That was Matthew Prusen being called for unnecessary roughness. That moves the ball up 15 yards from the end of the run, and that'll give the Broncos 1st and 10 at about the Rebels' 25-yard line, 26-yard line. No, even deeper than that. It'll be down to the 21-yard line. So lucky break for the Broncos. Score here, you get it right back in this game. They're only down 17-7, 10 points. It's one of the things that's haunted the Rebels for the last season and the first part of this year is penalties at the wrong time, and big ones. They weren't just 5-yarders. There were penalties that were for the unnecessary roughness and things like that. That was a good play by number 5 on the Rebels that time, Malik Womack, who came up to limit number 17, Gabe Kowalski, on the sort of like a reverse. It was like a jet sweep type thing. But he didn't commit to it, and he just made sure he played his position to limit that gain to about a yard and a half. That brings up 2nd down, 2nd and about 9. We got a Rebel down, number 7, Eric Williams, taking a knee, it looks like. It looks kind of sore, or that's just, he's taking his helmet off, so it definitely has some sort of ailment. And Mankinet's gone over to talk things over with Kamloops coaches for this important 2nd down play. Hang on the football here, use up a little bit of time and score. That helps you move you into the area at halftime where it's going to be close, where you don't want it to be too far behind. He'll take his time to get off the field, and again it allows the rest of the Rebels as well to rest a little bit. Quarterback back in the Kamloops huddle. Hopefully they got the right play called here. I think every coach feels that the right play is always the right play. Just have to execute it. There you go, quarterback back to pass, getting a big rush up the middle by Ingram. And he just throws this one out of bounds. That's going to bring up 3rd down. You might see a field goal try here by Kuchar. They went for it earlier on 3rd down, but I don't think they'll do that here. The game's still pretty close. I think that number 15 will be kicking the football. Yeah, another Rebel down. That's Leonardo Ingram, number 9. And just little twists and bruises this time of year. This is you're halfway through the season, and the hitting at practice and in games takes its toll. And as well, school has started for a lot of these guys, so they're bringing different bugs back to the practices during the week, and things that the players haven't had through their system yet. So you see some players, might miss some games due to flus and different things like that until they get used to it. This is his first field goal attempt this year. I think hasn't statted for one. And it's a wide to the left. Taken in the backfield by number 5 on the Rebels. Gets that out. Malik Womack gets it out of the end zone, so that'll move the ball out to the 20-yard line. No point. The Rebels will take over 1st and 10 at their own 20 with 9 minutes and 44 seconds to go here in the 2nd quarter. Rebels leading 17-7. Yeah, McKinnon coming in, number 13, a quarterback. So I guess Mason Brown is still got a little bit of a tweaky knee or ankle, whatever took him off the field in the first place. But Ashton, he led the the Rebels in 2016 to a Canadian Bowl, so he has some history and some success. Got a flag on the play. That might be offside against Rebels. Wide open. That's the number 80. Wide open. Nathan Faledo on the catch. But it might be called back due to receivers offside. If it's not, it's a long, long game. With a 51-yard pass. Sounds like it looks like they're coming back offside or legal procedure against the Rebels, offside against Rebels. So it was a good start for Ashton to come out and throw a long pass, but unfortunately called back.
Junior Football League merchandise at the today's game. That's right, Canadian Junior Football League merchandise at today's game.
So the Broncos have to be concerned on that one. Why is he wide open down the middle like that? I know they've got a defensive scheme on, but for a first down play and that tight into the Rebels zone, but you can't let anybody behind you like that. So that's going to bring up a first down over, but again 5 yards back, be 1st and 15. Rebels scrimmaging at about their 15-yard line. Little swing pass, Kyle James. Very nice run. I think he pretty close to the first down. If he didn't get it, he was darn close to it. Didn't get the number who pushed him out of bounds. There were a lot of white standing over there when you start looking at the guys in pursuit as well as the bench guys. Yeah, so they give him a first down, moves the ball to the 35-yard line. McKinnon at quarterback, James to his left, and he's got 3 receivers to his right. It's a tall quarterback, he's got a good arm. He sees well over the line. And he's got Faledo again wide open, right down the middle. That's a touchdown throw. $75 yards at the end of that one. Number 80, Nathan Faledo. So that's pushed the Rebels ahead with 8:16 to go, 23-0 with the convert to come. Again, Kyle Clark on for the convert attempt. Just got to get your team set here, guys. Some guys forget that they're on special teams. Convert attempt is off the wall, and it is good. That makes the score Westshore Rebels 24, Kamloops Broncos 7, with 8:16 to go here in the second quarter. Yeah, so if you get a chance, at halftime, take the Chihuahua for a walk, and then come back in and make sure you tune in for second half action. Even though the score here is piling up a little bit, 24-7, but it's a game, like I said, that the Rebels kind of needed. They needed something to get them going again. And for Kamloops, unfortunately, they've had success moving the football, but they just haven't had that same oomph that you've seen out of some of the teams. And I guess that's an indicator that their record, being 0-4, they're having struggles just to get things happening. And they got a young team as well. They rely on a lot of young guys. It's a battle recruiting here in the BCFC because there's not a lot of football played at the high school or community levels as compared to Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba. So a lot of the players are from out of British Columbia. And it takes them a while to get used to the, like if you come to the coast, it's a different air. And just, away from home for the first time for a lot of these kids. And it takes a while to get things happening and get them to gel and to commit to the program. Kyle Clark teeing it up. Parkerneck deep along with number 17. That is Gabe Skolowski. And Clark just squibs one along the ground. Skolowski takes it at about his 15-yard line and straight up the middle. He's met by number 32 on the Rebels. That's Jordani Dorvillin.
Used a lot of speed once again for his Broncos.
Yeah, moved the ball up to the 32, 33 yard line. That's where Kamloops takes over, 1st and 10. They've been able to throw the ball to the outside, and that might be one of those adjustments you see that they make here for the rest of this quarter. Get the ball to the outside because they completed 2 or 3 out there with very little support coming from the Rebels on it. Mankinet in the quarterback. Back to pass. Throws this one out of bounds. Again, a receiver, no receiver in the area. Receiver ran a deep route, and another receiver ran a short little route. And he had pressure right off the hop. As soon as he took the snap, there was Rebels in the backfield. I was talking to Kamloops coach Brad Yamoka prior to the game, and I'd mentioned to him last week, I talked to Coach Doug Hockey and the Raiders, and both of them mentioned that one of the harder things they've had to do is to recruit their own players back to their own programs, especially players from the prairies. And so that's a challenge, and that's one of the things that the CJFL and BCFC have to kind of work out. That was a nice pass out to number 18, Tim Sopla. And that should be enough for 1st down. Moves the ball out to the 49 yard line. That's 1st down. But that's one of the challenges, they said, is along with recruiting new players to your program, is recruiting the guys that you have on your team to come back. And you kind of recognize different things. There's a handoff to number 7, Parkerneck. A nice little tough run for 1st down. That was a nice run. He's put his head down the last 5 yards, and he dragged a couple Rebels with him. 7:15, clock's running, 2nd quarter. No huddle for Kamloops. The ball's at midfield. Signals being called. It's a motion. A little bit of a misplay there. Leon Ingram making the tackle. He wasn't off the field long for the little injury he had. That was a pickup of about 4 by the quarterback. Bring up a 2nd and 6. Yeah, it's a good, important drive for the Broncos in this one right now, because you want to get as close as you can. You want to put the Rebels in the long field, but ideally you want to score. You want to get back in this game before halftime. The longer you hold on to the football and score, it limits the Rebels' the chances. Number 52 on the Rebels coming in for the sack, Matthew Poussin. That drops Mankinet back. About a 6-yard loss. So that's going to bring up a 3rd down and 11. Kamloops will have to punt here. Yeah, it's just pressure. This entire game, the Rebels have had a good push up front. Kamloops is just struggling a little bit, just trying to pick those guys up. And Kuchar to punt, and Cody Holmes back, along with, I think it was still again probably Sharif, 16. Kamloops calls a timeout. They're missing somebody. Yeah, both teams have had trouble with their punt team today with missing some guys on specials, and he's important. He's in the middle, number 31 there. That's
Austin Linden Brow, all awnings, and Dwight Shopland of New Beginnings. If you're interested in sponsoring,
so play whistle back in. 5:53 to go here in the 2nd quarter. Again, thank you for watching BCFC TV, powered by Remax and Kamloops. Bringing you some good junior football action here on BCFC TV. Just a punt to the right, just a directional kick, tackled by Sharif. Right up the middle. Again, limiting the run. Cole Avery on the tackle, but just limiting the return from under 5 yards, 5-6 yards. The Rebels take over at their 34-yard line, 1st and 10. If you're looking for more football action tonight, like I said earlier, the Valley's at Langley. That game kicks off at 7 o'clock, as well as the Raiders up in Kelowna over at 7 o'clock kickoff. But both those games are on BCFC TV, so if you're looking for some good action, tune on in. The game in Langley, well, both games should be pretty good. There's a lot of, I wouldn't call it love between the Sun and Raiders, but a lot of respect, and it's going to be a good game. And the surprising Valley team, they're tied for first place, 4-1. And the only team to beat them this year is Langley, so that'll be a challenge for them. And it's one that the Valley needs based on the fact that it's like another Rebel down. But the Valley needs it. They're coming off a win last week to push the record to 2 wins and 3 losses. And if they win tonight, that just pushes everything up. And then this game alone, Rebel win gives them 4 points, and that pushes them back right into 3rd place from 5th. And puts a lot of pressure on those other 3 teams ahead of them. And the Sun lost tonight. If the Sun lose this evening, then that's a game that pushes them into 5th place. So it's interesting. It's a very, very interesting league makeup this year. And then with this 4-point game, it adds a different dynamics to it, because 4 points right away just changes the whole look of the standings right now. So then it was number 64 that was on the ground, Damien Dupuis. And big man down there, he's hurting. Looks like he rolled an ankle or twisted knee. Looked like, I guess, the knee, that's what they're holding up. You're going to have to bring a couple big guys to help him off. He's a big man. And it looks like they're just discussing his right knee there, and hopefully he's okay. He's able to get up and put pressure, a little bit of pressure on it, so it might be all right. Yeah, once you get on the ground and get your weight back on it, things start to work, or with him, not at this point. Damien wants the officials will let him get off the field, obviously, before they blow this whistle. Got 5:14 to go here in the second quarter. Rebels still leading 24-7. Ashton McKinnon still a quarterback. Now looks like Damien's struggling a little bit. It must be more worse than obviously, I don't know. Standing up here watching him limp off. I do know what a knee feels like. I used to play. That knee was blown out one time. I think when you could have a little trolley, that's what they should get, one of those little gators to come in and get the guy, help him off. I'm not want to say speed the game up, because player safety is the #1 thing we got to be dealing with. But just rather than help, just struggling like that, put him on a little cart. There we go, 2nd down and 8. Long pass to number 2, Kane Stevenson. It's intercepted by number 1, Michael Berge, who ultimately fumbled the football. But I always get everybody pointing each way here. So officials, number 22, Murray Clark, it's like signaling the Broncos have the football. The second turnover of the game. I got a flag down as well across the field. And a second turnover for the Rebels today, both interceptions. And the ball came out. A lot of guys converging on some plays like that. So they got a unnecessary roughness penalty against number 80, Nathan Felito. So it moves the ball ahead 15. Again, it's one of those penalties, those 15-yarders, they hurt you. When you get in a game, you might not look at it today with the score. Haven't had much scoring here in the second quarter. But you get in a game where teams can score and take advantage of that, those type of penalties. They hurt. And that's I think the 3rd one today, a 15-yarder for the Rebels, and that's a lot of yardage lost or gained for the Broncos on those. They're Broncos in it. Handoff to number 23. That's Cole Avery. A run up the middle, just off a little bit off right and up the middle, and pick up a first down. Moves the ball right to about the 35-yard line. 4:35 to go in the second quarter. Clock running. 1st and 10. Van Kennett, a quarterback still. He's got Avery in the backfield. Behind him in the pistol look. 2 receivers to his left, 2 receivers to his right. Yeah, flags down. That's probably offside on Kamloops. The receivers moving forward. I think the flags kind of messed up the play a little bit. Everybody kind of stopped.
2 flags on the play, what I can see.
Yeah, looks like it's offside against the Kamloops Broncos. There was a loss on the play. Van Kennett running it. He lost about 2 yards. So they're going to decline it. That'll bring up 2nd and 12. Kamloops with the ball at the Rebels' 37-yard line.
Outside penalty on the Broncos. Penalty declined. 2nd down.
38-yard line, I'm sorry. Van Kennett again in the pistol, shotgun look. Max protection, he should be running the football. Oh, tip drill. In and out of the hands of number 18, Tim Slofa. And almost into the hands of number 4, Deshaun Kerr. So that's going to bring up a 3rd down and 13, 3rd down and 12. Like Bryce Croucher, number 15 for Kamloops, on to punt the ball away. Kane Stevenson deep, along with Sad Sharif. Excuse me, I got a little bit of a cold, so got a little bit of grumble here and there. Coach will be angling this one, I think, more to the corner. You want to get the ball out of bounds as close to the goal line as you can. High snap. Yeah, kicked it to the sideline, but it wasn't very far. So it was a net punt of a loss of yardage. But came off the edge very, very quickly there for the Rebels. Just almost blocked that one. I'm surprised he didn't die for it. He probably could have blocked it.
Here comes your redder, Harold Beer, making his way around the stands.
That looks like a lot. It was a negative punt for looks about 3 yards. So that's going to give the ball over the Rebels at their own 40-yard line. With 3:39 to go here in the second quarter. Looks like Brown's back in a quarterback. The only reason I know that is because Ashton McKinnon stands taller than anybody in that huddle. I couldn't see him, so. He's got Kyle James to his left, 3 receivers to his right. Empty backfield now. There, Cody Holmes on a little screen pass. Cuts upfield. Yeah, there's a block. That's probably a block in the back, but number 80, Nick Felito.
Another flag out there. Cody Holmes on the run.
I think it might have been after yards gained. I'm not sure where the officials are saying they're going to mark it. So right there, so that looks like yards gained. So they'll move it back 10 yards from there, but they should still get the first down. So again, a penalty on number 80, Nick Felito, and that moves the ball back 10 yards, but a fresh set of downs. 3:12 to go here in the second quarter. And just a little screen pass type thing set up. They try to get the receivers out in front of it. They didn't really send any linemen out. Just try to, guys will miss, and then you let the athletic ability of the receivers just do their thing. And this league is full of those type of guys. The roll to his right, little dump off to Holmes. That was a nice play by number 30 on Kamloops. Dylan Young just read that beautifully, came up, made the tackle. For a loss, it looks like about 6 yards. There's your 2-minute warning, 2:49 to go. Rebels up 24-7. Again, thank you for watching BCFC TV, powered by Remax Kamloops. Bringing you some more junior football action here at beautiful West Hill Stadium. We're not a nice stadium. They're going to be tearing this, not tearing it up, but they're going to build the stands that are similar to what's on the side here that where everything goes, same on the other side. So it's going to bring the capacity up. And Rugby Canada, they play a lot of games here and they get great crowds. They get double the crowds for sure. There's Mason Brown back in the, just over the head of Kane Stevenson. Just out of his fingers. That'll bring up a third down and 16. Rebels will punt. But I think once they get everything settled in, there's some power lines across the field that they have to move, and it's a huge undertaking and very costly, so they got to work a deal out with BC Hydro to make that work in the city of Langford for cost-wise. And then once they do that, this place will be just a rocking stadium. Because when they put a full house here, it gets loud because they got the metal stands, and they, similar to what the Kamloops fans do, they get up there and what do they call it? Somebody called it the Kamloops Gallop, and they start thumping their feet on the metal stands, and it just creates a whole different atmosphere for the players. There's a short punt by McKinnon. Ball rose out of bounds at about the Kamloops 50-yard line. So they got 2 minutes and 20 seconds here to try to do something positive, get some points out of it. You can't be thinking anything else, just move the football. So if they do get that field fixed up and they get those stands on the other side, you could probably put almost 4,000 people in undercover, which would be a huge crowd, huge crowd. Not sure what's here today. They're like maybe 700-800 maybe. I'm not very well at judging crowds here. That's a mix-up in the backfield. Again, the Rebels are getting pressure up front, and the Broncos are having difficulty picking that pressure up. So it was just an incomplete pass. So that's bringing up a 2nd down and 10. Ball at the Kamloops 50-yard line. And the Broncos have been keeping the 2 running backs in basically too to help on protection. They don't have many, only 4 generally going out on the pass routes, and the Rebels are still getting some pressure. And going at the pass, nice catch by number 81. There's beautiful hand catch to Thies Dunevald. But only for a pickup of around 6 yards, 6.5 yards. It's going to bring up a punting situation with 2:11 to go here in the first half. Another opportunity at the ball, close to midfield, where they haven't been able to capitalize. And I think at halftime they'll be talking a lot about protection and make some adjustments that way. But sometimes you just get bogged down in the realization that, boy, I don't think we are in this game. And that's the mindset you got to change. It's a nice high punt. That's a beauty. And it's taken by Sharif at about his 11. Turns the corner, gets the edge. That was a nice return and brings it back to about the Rebels' 44-yard line. I don't think there's a flag down. Don't see anything. Oh, there is a flag, sorry. Right at center field. Might have been offside the way the officials are talking. I think it's offside against the Rebels. That'll give Kamloops the first down, which they will take the first down, obviously. So that'll move the ball into Rebels territory. Put it down at around the 50-yard line, 49-yard line. I get a little bit more hope. 1:39 to go here in the first half. Kamloops, the chance to put some more points on the board. Down 17 at this point. A 1st and 10, Kamloops. Rebels 48-yard line. Vancona at quarterback. Again, hard pressure right away up the middle from the Rebels as Leonard Ingram has a sack for a loss of around 6 yards, 5 yards. And that's one of the things they're going to have to solve at halftime is we got to protect our quarterback. Either that or move the quarterback. Move his feet, get him outside, get him on the edge a bit. Get some rollout passing. But again, if he's not that style of guy, it's very difficult to change what your quarterback does and what he's comfortable in. But he hasn't had much time to throw. You have a little clock on your head's ticking all the time, and I don't think he's had a chance even to start the clock. Cranking that back to pass. Yeah, they pass on the sideline. They're saying out of bounds, incomplete pass. So that's going to bring up a 3rd down and 15. Minute 9 to go. Kamloops will be punting again. Kuchar on to punt. Sharif deep along with Cody Holmes, number 10. Sharif, number 16. Boy, the slow pace on this game. Some of it real slow pace. And again, a late man on the special teams for Kamloops. They got to call their last time out. I think it doesn't matter. Take the penalty. Yeah, there's some stuff that gets frustrating sometimes as a coach when you're. But mind you, again, there's could be other things going on. That guy that's on the special teams maybe plays on the defensive side of the ball, and he was in with a little discussion with his defensive coach, or he was getting something taped, equipment fixed, or he had a little injury or something that he wasn't ready to go. So sometimes wise to take the time out. Also gives the officials a chance to get some water and make sure they got their stuff in order. And there was a penalty here in the last 3 minutes. Changes some of the dynamics of what the penalty applications are. All right, ready to go, and Kuchar back to punt. He's punting from about his own 45-yard line by the time the ball leaves his foot. Again, that's another nice punt. Sharif drives him back to inside his 10. Breaks 1 tackle, 2 tackles, and just runs into number 18, Tin Sofa, and then he puts him on the ground right away. But he gets it out to about the 11-yard line after another flag on the play. That was about a 54-yard, 53-yard punt. That was a nice punt. That had a nice spin on it, rolled over. It crusted and came down nice and straight. Not sure what the penalty is here, but it's probably against the Rebels, so that'll move them back from point of possession. Got a clip. That moved the ball back to about the 1-yard line. After the penalty, that was a penalty by number 4, Deshaun Kerr. Another 15-yard penalty. Again, you're up 24-7, so it doesn't hurt you right now, but those are the type of things you got to work your way through and get rid of, because you're going to start playing some teams that take advantage of this type of stuff. But there's only 57 seconds left in the first half, so I'm sure the Rebels just be pounding the ball to number 21, Kyle James. Just get out of the half, get in the change room, get your oranges, get your bananas, get some water, and talk about it and make your adjustments. A hand off to James. And I think he just got out of the end zone for no gain. The ball back on the 1. Didn't give up a safety there. Mind you, I guess it shouldn't say lucky. If you give up the safety, it's a good thing for Kamloops, because they would get the ball back on the ensuing kickoff with a chance to add more points.
That's nice that Red Arrow's bringing the beer around to you.
Again, Brown's still a quarterback. Back from his injury. I'm not sure what the injury was. It was either a knee or an ankle, but I guess it was just a little twitch. And 2nd down, clock running, 30 seconds left. Back to throw. He's got Isaiah Cardelecki over the middle. I think they're saying that was incomplete.
No catch. Good ball.
Deep judge number 22, Murray Clark, waved that off. So that's going to bring up third down, incomplete pass. I think the Rebels will probably have to punt here because they have to run a play to get a first down, and they're third down and 10, third down and 9. You might see McKinnon. No, he's going to punt because the clock's not going to start until the snap of the football. So I think he'll punt the ball, and he's just, hopefully the guys get some good coverage on top of it. And deep for the Kamloops is Gabe Skolowski, number 17, and number 7, Andrew Pokranik. If they get a good return out of this with time left on the clock, they might have come away with some points. At least they could try a field goal. They're in pretty good field position right now. They're going to get good field position on the kick. There's Ashton. Oh, he's going to give up the 2. Or just run around for 20 seconds. He's going to have to give up the 2. And there he goes down with 14.7 seconds left. I think we have a flag down. Too many men against Kamloops. That's going to move the ball up 10 yards and give the Rebels a first down. They're going to put
Another penalty flag.
another penalty flag on the sideline. I think probably both guys counted 13 men. I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yep, they had too many men. So that's going to move the ball up 10 yards, give the Rebels first down. No safety scored. They can run one play and end this half. So the clock will start on the whistle, or sorry, on the snap, and then they'll probably just run a straight dive play with Clell James and then kneel down in the half, get in their halftime. Yeah, Brown in the shotgun. James to his right. I think you'll see a handoff going to Brown's left here to James. Oh, he's going to throw the football. It's interesting. Yeah, it's one of those things. He got sacked down around the knee, and that looks like he's hurt a little bit there. I'm not sure why you would do that. Your quarterback, very valuable on your team, and put him in a situation like that. You can see here, just nobody open. You get tackled low, and you've been running off the field with a low body injury to your knee or ankle. No, he's going back in at quarterback, so I guess it was not too bad. So he'll just kneel down here with clock's running with 5 seconds left. Again in shotgun, and guaranteed he's going to hand off or kneel down. He's not going to throw the football in this one. Yeah, it's handed off to Bill James, and he breaks it. Yeah, nice little run. Here you go, in the half. For about a 7-yard gain. That's not bad way to end the half, and that is the first half, ladies and gentlemen. And with the Westshore Rebels leading the Kamloops Broncos 24-7. Kind of like a game that everybody expected. All the reporters throughout the BCFC picked the Rebels to win this game, and it was a little lackluster at some points during the second half of the first quarter, and almost the whole second quarter opportunities were missed. And the Rebels especially took some silly penalties, those 15-yarders. But Kamloops is still in this game. They've got an opportunity to make some adjustments and come out in the second half and rumble the tree a little bit. And for the Rebels, it's just about execution, getting back in and everybody doing what they need to do to maintain the lead and to possibly to add to the lead. But it might be interesting to see what happens in the second half if Beatty goes with Ashton McKinnon at quarterback or stays with Mason Brown. But anyhow, we'll be back for the second half in 15 minutes. So at this point, I'd like to again thank everybody for tuning in and thank BCFC TV, powered by Remax, for bringing you this BC Junior Football League game here from West Hill Stadium in Langford.
presents mind-blowing pure fiber facts. Today's topic, crystal clear video chats. Ah, I see you're catching up with your brother, Jerry. Ooh, yikes. Look at the quality of that video chat. Did you know the upload and download speeds of pure fiber make chats so clear it would be like your brothers in the same room? TELUS Pure Fiber. Video chats reimagined.
My name is Chris Gress, and I am the brewmaster and partner in Red Arrow Brewing. We opened in June of last year, so we've just passed our first fiscal year. It's a pretty exciting and fun time for craft beer in BC in general, and we're very excited to be, the first microbrewery in the Cowichan Valley. We didn't really want to do things the way that most other breweries or a lot of other breweries like to do them, so we really kind of stuck with some of our ideas of some of the beer styles and our original arrangement of beers, and some of them have worked very well and some of them needed a little bit of tweaking, but overall I think it's really kind of paying off for us to kind of do things our own way in the marketing side and specifically the merchandising side. A lot of people say that our merchandising program is beyond what is really kind of expected for a brewery, but this is a really significant part of our business that we're very proud of. Well, we're open 7 days a week, and people can come in and get a tour. They can pick up some merchandising or read about local craft industry or learn a little bit about the area. Growler fills, we do just an extraordinary amount of growler fills. We invite food trucks in over the summer, and now we're running our own food truck Wednesday to Sunday, and we're just going to start incorporating that with different events in the valley and tourism. We have a local celebrity, if you will, Dan Hudson, who's joined us to put up some pretty exciting products from the food truck. He's a great chef. He's been on some national TV programs, Top Chef Canada and Chopped, I believe. Just a treat to work with another person that's just so passionate about the things that they do and the things that they create, and it just shows in the product that comes out. I really enjoy what I do, and we're really fortunate to have the people involved that we have involved, and I believe I've said already, it's a pretty exciting time for craft beer industry in BC and tourism in the valley.
There's a huge need for support for youth with mental health challenges. About 1 in 5 Canadians on any given day will be facing a mental health issue, and most of those experiences begin among teenagers and young adults. The Booster Buddy app project was incredibly important to us at Island Health. We have known for a long time that there was a need to provide help and assistance to people whenever they need it, wherever they are. Then we can help people get through moments of crisis, and we can help give them hope and a sense of ability that they can get through it. So young people who had mental health issues and their families, brought them all together in one room and asked them what they wanted to get from a mental health app. Most of the vision and the story and the look and feel were really driven by them. That's a tremendously valuable thing that happened with the Booster Buddy project. It wasn't something created in an academic silo, but it was really a grassroots movement that tapped into that lived experience. We were working with a young man with psychosis. He was really struggling and needing to come into emergency frequently because of the severity of his symptoms. I asked him if he would try the app to give me some feedback. When he opened it, his face lit up. And he said, wow, this is going to be a game. I asked him to use it for 2 weeks, and every day that week he would come by my office and tell me how the app had helped him. And he didn't visit the emergency those 2 weeks. I've had the privilege of hearing every day the impact it has on people's lives. That alone is astonishing.
This app kept me alive.
I'm 16 years old and struggling with mental illness. This app has really changed my life.
I wanted to let you know that I was in deep depression last year, but Booster Buddy helped me crawl out.
It's silly, but I actually cried the first time using the app.
With everything in me, I thank you. My life.
I'd hoped that a few hundred people would install Booster Buddy here in Victoria, but since then we've had over 80,000 people use the app from countries all over the world, and they are saying that it's saving their lives. It's an astonishing experience to be able to have that kind of impact, and I want to thank Coast Capital Savings for allowing me to be a part of that and allowing Island Health to reach so many people all over the world.
Give me a kiss. I love you.
22-year-old Khalil James has a little more on his plate than most of his Westshore Rebel teammates.
When I had Callie, it completely changed my life. Like, just becoming literally from a boy to a man, and having Callie was the best thing ever in my life, literally.
Earlier in the year, Khalil was recruited by the Rebels and moved his entire family, including 2-year-old Callie, to the island.
So welcome. This is my home.
And I was like, oh my gosh, like, you're gonna leave us? What's gonna happen? And he's like, so, like, what do you think about coming? And I was like, whoa, you want me to move across, like, the continent with you? I'm like, all right.
It was challenging at first, just to figure out everything that we needed, like, just to get here.
I'm from Toronto, so we don't see, like, mountains, we don't see, like, pretty beaches, and there's lots of, like, parks for the kid, which I just loved.
On the field, James is stepping into a big role, with Jamel Lyles and Trey Campbell posting MVP caliber seasons at running back in previous years.
But it's kind of a good pressure. It's just knowing that I have so much to fulfill that, I mean, I don't really have a choice but to, right? So kudos to Trey and Jamil. They're two really good players, and I plan to continue to the legacy of the running backs on this team.
After taking a full year off of football due to family issues and the birth of Callie, James returned to the field in week 1 and scored a touchdown in his first game back.
And finds the end zone easily untouched as he walks it in.
Man, it was the best feeling ever. Like, especially being out for a year and just coming back and just playing and scoring your first game is probably like the most exciting thing for a player. So it was a really good game. We're gonna tear it up this season? Yeah.
With his family by his side, Khalil James will look to cement his legacy as a Rebel.
Welcome back, football fans. West Hill Stadium here in Langford for second half action between the visiting Kamloops Broncos and the hometown Westshore Rebels. Rebels leading 24-7. Jumped out early. The Rebels had success right off the bat. They threw a long pass to Cody. Unfortunately, was called back for a touchdown. But then they came back, and Khalil James scored a minute and 4 seconds in on a 44-yard run that was converted by Kyle Clark. And then at the 10:41 mark of the first quarter, Kyle Clark hit about a 30-yard field goal to move the Rebels up 10-0. Kamloops came back with 50 seconds left, and they scored a touchdown, and I didn't get who scored that touchdown. And I apologize to him or his family if they're listening that I did not get that. And that was a converted touchdown, and that made the score at the end of the first quarter 10-7 for the Rebels. In the second quarter, Rebels scored 40 seconds in on Cody Holmes on a long pass. It was good when converted by Clark to put the Rebels up 17-7, and then at the 8:16 mark, Holmes got his second touchdown of the game on a long 75-yard pass from Ashton McKinnon. Byron's his brother, and Kyle Clark converted, and that's where we're score now is 24-7. As Captain Giroux discussing the second half arrangements for the kickoff. I don't want to call it a barn burner of a game. It's been kind of slow. It's had its sluggish period, but the biggest highlight, if you will, is the Rebels' defense versus the Kamloops' offensive line. Kamloops has had a tough time getting people in front of the Rebels' defenders, and they've had a lot of pressure on on Kamloops quarterback all afternoon. Yeah, Van Kennett had to move his feet a little bit. He had some success throwing the ball. They did move the football on some passes to the outside early, but they haven't gone back to those. And obviously the Rebels recognize that. Will make some adjustments to it. But we're ready to go here. Start the second half. Again, you're watching BCFC TV, powered by Remax Kamloops. Kyle Clark teeing it up. Deep is number 17, Gabe Slosky, and number 7, Andrew Pokernick. Kamloops.
Give it up for your Westshore Rebels sports fans. Give it up.
Yeah, Kyle's father's here, his uncle's here. I was just talking to his Uncle Kim, one of the best running backs, in my opinion, ever to play in the British Columbia Football Conference. A deep pass, deep kickoff, Kolofsky. Up the middle, he's got to found himself a hole. But, he breaks a couple tackles, and number 20 on the Rebels, Connor Elliott, makes the tackle after a good return and moves the ball up to the Kamloops 53-yard line. That's their best return tonight for sure. Yeah, get them excited. Yeah, they're still in the game. You're only down 17. It's only 3 scores. So Reed Van Kennett still at quarterback. And behind him, I think that's number 23, Sam Hill. Sam Hill with the handoff. That's a good first down, hard run. Tackled by number 44. Don't have a 44 on the Rebels. Don't see a 44 in my roster. Oh, sorry, that's E.T. Osharenko. So that's a 12-yard run, 14-yard run, 1st and 10. Ball inside Rebel territory. Van Kennett on the long pass and a flag down. Big rush again coming from the Rebels defense. Put pressure on them. We got pass interference call here against the Rebels. They'll move the ball up 10 yards and fresh set of downs for the Kamloops Broncos. The ball will probably be at about the Rebels 32-yard line.
Forward pass interference. Defense number 10. 15-yard penalty. First down.
Yeah, pass just outside the catch area for the receiver there, but again, contact was made just prior to him stretching out for the pass. So that moves the ball to the, a 15-yard penalty. That's right, not a 10. So 27-yard line, 1st and 10. It's a handoff to number 23, Sam Hill. Just worked a little bit to up the middle and a quick cut to his left. For a pickup of about 4. Maybe 5. Second down here. Good start for Kamloops. A little bit of help. Good return on the kickoff. Help with a penalty. A couple good runs. Sam Hill's made a couple good runs in this play, on this drive. Think it was 2nd and 5 here. The ball's at about the 21. There was a pass intended for number 1, Theus Dunaveld. That was incomplete. Cody Holmes on the coverage. So that brings up a 3rd down and 5. I think you might see a field goal try here because you do need those points at some point in the game if you're going to move back into it. There's some crowd noise here. They're giving away free pizzas, little small individual pizzas. We've been trying to yell, but they don't see us for some reason. So this is going to be about a 30-yard field goal try, 29-yard field goal try. This is Bryce Kuchar. He had one try earlier that was wide to the left. This ball is down. Kick is up and it's good. That makes the score with 13 minutes and 2 seconds left. Westshore Rebels 24, Kamloops Broncos 10. So that's the first field goal try that I can figure out that Kucher's made this year. He's not in the stats.
2018 Rebels gear. Reminder to also purchase raffle tickets to win $2,500 in groceries at the merchandise tent.
So the Kamloops will be kicking off. Rebels have decided they want the ball through the air instead of taking it to the 35-yard line, so they will Kamloops kick off from their own 45. Again, Kucher has the honors. Deep for the Rebels, number 2 Kane Stevenson and number 10 Cody Holmes.
Bryce Couture kick off here for the Broncos.
Deep kick to Kane Stevenson, number 2, takes it about his 12-yard line. And he met very vicious tackle by number 47 on Kamloops, Oscar Croucher. That's going to give, give the Rebels first down at their own 31 or 26-yard line.
Last chance to purchase your 50/50 tickets.
That was good coverage on the cover team by Kamloops to limit that return by Kane Stevenson. Got Mason Brown at quarterback still. We got a penalty here. I think there were too many men in the huddle. That's another rule change this year to tie the rules in with what the CFL and CIS do. Is if you have too many men in the huddle, that at the time of the huddle, when the huddle breaks, it's too many men on the field. So it's a 10-yard penalty, and you repeat first down. But it ties a lot of the rule changes that were made in the Canadian Junior Football League this year. One of the tie-in with the CIS and some of the CFL rules to streamline it, because we do have officials that go back and forth. A lot of these guys do CIS games, and we have a CFL official, Murray Clark, here, who's playing the deep judge. So it makes it easier for those guys when they come down to officiate the games. Or if they go up, there's not a big rule change difference. Here's a pitch to Kyle James, going to the right. Nice run. It's very, very strong runner. Almost a first down. Looks like he's come up about 2 yards shy. He's out of Toronto. He's married. He's got a, or not married. He's got a fiance, but he's got He's got a young child, just 2 years old, so he's trying to find his way through, having a family and playing football and having a job. So it's second down, and it's like a long 3. Mason Brown under center. A pitch to the right this time to James. Finds the outside. That's a nice long run. Picks up a first down after about a 25-yard run.
First down, Rebels.
So the Rebels are on a bit of a move here. Coming into this game, Kyle James is in second place at BCFC rushing with 308 yards, and Brett Williams from the Vancouver Island Raiders leads that way. He's coming in tonight's game with 552. So Rebels have first down at the Kamloops 52-yard line. Again, a handoff to James. He's a workhorse today. He's carried the ball a lot. And I think he was down when the ball came out, but the ball came out anyway and before the whistle. I think we got a guy down. There's a Bronco down, and he's in pain because he's writhing around down there. You see on the replay, he cuts back to his left and just gets the ball stripped by number 92 as he came in, but I'm pretty sure he was down before. And they say he was down, so bringing up a second down and 10. The players taking knees, and hopefully this isn't too serious, because it's long bus rides home for these Kamloops Broncos, and it's not very comfortable if you've got an injury sitting for that long ride. There's been instances in the past where players end up at a hospital, and there's always somebody that brings their own vehicle just to ensure that home the next day and or later on that day. With the ferries now leaving the island, the last one's out at 9 o'clock here out of Victoria, so That's what the team will be booked on, so they've got to make sure they leave the park here by about 7:30, quarter to 8 to make that ferry connection. So any delay in the game pushes things a little bit for everybody. Didn't see who went down there. But they are definitely looking at a knee. Coming on the field now for the Broncos is their president, Dino Bernardo. That's number 92. Cade Manuel South, sorry, excuse me. There's a few guys in this game they helped off look like knee injuries. Hopefully he's okay and he's able to get back in the game. .11:05 to go here in third quarter. Rebels are leading 24-10, and they have the ball second down and 10 at the Kamloops 51-yard line. Clock running. Mason Brown, still a quarterback. He's got an I formation behind him, and along with Kane Stevenson in motion. 2 receivers left, 2 receivers right. Play action pass. And Deshaun Greenaway on the try there, close to the sideline. I think he probably would have stepped out of bounds. That brought up an incomplete pass in the 3rd and 10. Rebels will be punting. Ashton McKinnon in the punt. Bockernick and number 17, Skolaski, deep for the Broncos. They're standing on about their 20-yard line. A little bit of confusion on the Rebels side. A little wobbly kick taken by Bockernick at the 25-yard line. Cuts upfield and tackled by number 5, Eric Williams. Or sorry, Malik Womack. Made first contact. He got wobbling off the field there with a knee or ankle. He's down. Call for a trainer on this one. And now ballers return to the Bockernick, brought it back to his own 34-yard line, 33-yard line. Kamloops football, 1st and 10. 10 minutes and 7 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter.
Very good play for the Rebels.
Not bad. Sun's trying to come out here. It's dark above the hills, but a little bit of light on the field. And let the Chihuahuas out now to run around the backyard.
This game is brought to you in part by Wilson's Transport. For providing our transport, we thank you for your continued
But I forgot, yeah, Chihuahuas don't run around. They get carried around, I think. Yeah, so.
All right, fans, it's that time again. Go to your program, find Caden Smith's signature.
Yeah, Womack off was under his own steam. He got a little limp to him, but hopefully he's okay. Mankinet's still a quarterback for Kamloops. Got Sam Hill behind him in the pistol look. He's got 3 receivers to his right. Now plays blowing in. Well, they scored the last time they had the football, so here's an opportunity to add to that. Nice hand off to Hill, but cutting in from the right side of the defense is number 44. Yeah, Stoshi Ozarenko. ET, as they call him on the team. Yeah, another injury down there, another one. Hurting a little bit. That looks like my number, maybe 50. 53 on the Jordan Smith. Yeah, you get all those guys rolling around down there, and you get guys rolling into you and stepping on you. Yeah, we had a lot of stoppages this game because of little injuries like this. A lot of times the players get hurt and they start to get up, help themselves off, but a lot of the guys being helped off in this game. And also after a gain of 1, once Jordan goes off the field, the Kamloops will be looking at a 2nd down and 9 at their own 34-yard line. 9:42 here to go in the 3rd quarter. Rebels up 24-10. Van Kennett again in the pistol look. It's all by himself in the backfield. There you go. They've had success with those type of patterns all day. I got a penalty on that one. Pass is intended to number 18, Tim Solfa. And that's going to be added 15 yards up for interference penalty, but I think there's another flag down on along the line of scrimmage as well, so that could be offside against Kamloops. Kevin McWilliam, the head referee, he'll sort all this out and let us know.
Offside, offense, number 3. Pass interference, defense, number 10. 10-yard net, 1st down.
So the 15-yard penalty versus the 5-yard penalty moves the ball up 10 yards and gives Kamloops a 1st down. That moves the ball to the 44-yard line. No urgency for Kamloops at this point. You know, we still got a quarter and 10 minutes to go, but they got to do some positive things here. Hold on to the football as well as, you know, move it forward. It's another good run. This Hill kid's pretty darn runner, Sam Hill, number 23. He picked up a 9-yard gain there. It's a really tough run. Not a real big guy, but just, you know, tough, couple feet moving, keep shoulder square in line of scrimmage, just run. So there's Kamloops looking at a 2nd down and 1, ball at their own 53-yard line. Quarterback under center. That's a handoff to number 25, Trent Price, for enough yards for a gain of 2 from the 1st down. Run into the heart of the Rebels defense just to get the 1st down. The ball right up midfield. That's their success to start this 2nd half, moving the football a little bit. They're the only ones to put points on the board so far. Again, Sam Hill and working to his left. Nice cut back up the middle and a good strong 5-yard run. That's all you need, is getting yourself into a situation where you got a choice now. We can run the football or we can throw the football. That keeps the defense on their heels. You got to play honest. You just can't tee off and say, okay, they're going to throw, we're going to go get them. If they want to run a draw or just with good ball, Sam Hill, he's running pretty good right now. So it's 2nd and 5, 50-yard line. And going back to pass again. He's testing the outside. He's going to number 81 again. That's Theo Dunebald. Incomplete pass. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 5. I'm not sure what the coach has gone. Coach Yamoka calls for a punt. Yeah, Cody Holmes is playing a little bit of 2-way football today, playing some corner along with receiver for the Rebels and returning kicks. So he's going to earn his pay this day for sure. Not saying he gets paid, I'm not suggesting that, just a term. No, after all, this is junior football. Not sure what the problem is here. If the Rebels took a timeout or the officials are just allowing them to stop the clock. And he starts the clock again. Future to punt. Reef taking the ball, number 16, and about his 15-yard line, and runs backwards into a swarm of Broncos. Again, good coverage by the Broncos. And Kuchar again having a really good net punting day. He's had some good punts, and the coverage has been there to limit the returns. So the Rebels take over possession. Looks like they're at about their own 13-yard line. Be 1st and 10. The lines here are gold for football. The white lines are for the rugby. They take the dominance over football because, you know, Canada's national rugby team. So it's sometimes difficult to see the lines, the out of bound lines, especially when the sun is shining or there's as it gets darker. Here we got another penalty. I think this might be another one of those penalties for too many men in the huddle. Not sure what it is here. Yeah, same one as last time on the. Had the same thing in the last series. It opened up, and if you get too many men in the huddle, if there's 13 men in the huddle, they're going to call that every time. That's that new rule. That's a half the distance to the goal line because they're inside the 20-yard line. So that's going to bring up first down. It'll have about 17. Ashton McKinnon, a quarterback. He's under center. Keep the ball himself here, rolling to his left. And the ball was out, but I think they blew him down. And I'm not sure there was a penalty on the play or not, but he only gained about back to the line of scrimmage, maybe. A quarterback keeper. Designed, it was strictly to go outside because he tucked the ball under his arm as soon as the ball snapped. I'll get another penalty here, holding. Yeah, since there was no gain in there, it's that close. You take the penalty there, it just only moves the ball maybe 2 yards. So you decline that, you bring up a second down and 17, 18 yards. McKinnon in the shotgun. Williams is to his left. I think number 80, Nick Flito, is offside. I think they'll decline that, and wouldn't be surprised to see the Rebels give up another safety or try to give a safety up here. It's deep in their own zone. Yeah, I think number 80 was offside, so that's going to be, they'll decline that. So that's going to bring up 3rd and 10, 6:37 to go here in the third quarter. Rebels up 24-10. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised to see McKinnon kneel down here and give up the 2 points. Yeah, Rebels have had a few penalties today. They do lead the league in penalties and yardage. So far this year, they've had 88 penalties for 683 yards, which is a lot. And they own the BCFC record by about 500 yards on the season. As a matter of fact, I think they're number 1 and 2. 2017 is the number 2 team, and their 2016 team, or 17 team, was the number 1. So anyhow, Rebels give up the 2 points. That makes the score 24-12. Rebels will be kicking off from their own 45-yard line. And you're going to have number 17, Gabe Skolowski, and number 7, Andrew Pocketing deep. Last one, Andrew had a really nice. They're kicking off here from the 35, so they got an opportunity here to get some good field position. The only team to score so far in this second half has been Kamloops. They've put 5 points on the board. Kyle Clark ready to kickoff in the direction of his father, number 22, Murray Clark, deep umpire, CFL official. Had the opportunity to coach Murray when he was a young guy. Well, up until he was 21, I guess. Played junior football for me back in the old Victoria Dolphin days. And had minor football with the Victoria Saanich Vampires. Pakarnik again on the outside, keeping his feet, just moving the pile by himself. That was a good little return. Came on down and got tackled by number 18, Keenan Gross. It was a good return there, just using his legs, keeping everything square, and just churn, churn, churn. So he brings the ball back to his own 42-yard line. There's about a 22-yard return. So again, Kamloops can generate something. He can get back in this game pretty quick. Just to be down a couple scores. An incomplete pass intended for number 18, Tin Solfa. Incomplete, bringing up 2nd and 10. They've had the pass game working, but they just can't connect. They've got the guys open. They just can't make the connection on the plays. And again, they've got to move the quarterback because they're getting tremendous pressure from the Rebels' defensive front. And their Kamloops having a hard time picking them up. So 2nd and 10. Back to pass. Going to move the feet. Another incomplete pass. Had pressure coming from Jason Piper, number 33, and Piper gave him a little push in the back, but nothing, no harm, no foul. A lot of it's momentum as well. So that's going to bring up a 3rd and 10, and Kuchar back on the field for the punt. Going deep for the Rebels is number 16, Sharif, and number 84, that is Elizer Joseph. It's the first time he's been back there to return kicks today. A high snap, but Kuchar, another long, nice punt. Taken by Sharif. And again, it's a backwards run and great coverage by the Kamloops Broncos. Number 18 making the tackle, that's Tim Solfa. He's had a good day on the coverage teams. So that's one of the areas that the Rebels got to try to get out of here. They're going backwards every time Kamloops punts the football, but I guess you don't too concerned over it when you're up by 12 points at this point, but that's only 2 scores. Kamloops just has to find a way to get close to the goal line and get back in this. So we got Mason Brown back in at quarterback. Cloud James is to his right. He's got three receivers to his left. Just a handoff to James. Again, just a good hard run up the middle. So yeah, look, as a first down, about a 12-yard gain. And a first down for the Rebels. Yeah, so this game, the winner of this game will go a long way to making things work within your program. And like I said earlier, get you back in the mix when it comes to playoff time. And we're in the second half of the season right now, and this is the only time these guys will meet, so 4 points is pretty important. There's a nice pass over the middle to Cody Holmes. Gets the edge before he gets upset and tackled by number 10, Caden Cook. But not after a pickup of about 43 yards. That'll give the Rebels 1st and 10 at the Kamloops Broncos 40-yard line. 4:19 here to go in the 3rd quarter, clock moving. Yeah, so 4 points, the Rebels 4-pointer. They got 3 points right now. That puts them into 7, and leading right before the games this evening. Raiders and Valley Huskers are tied with 8 points each, so that puts the Rebels back in the mix. And for Kamloops, a win here, that vaults them over top. It would vault them over top of Victoria, as well as vault them over top of Okanagan. And a nice swing out to Williams, and he picks up, well, looks like he got the first down. Just put the ball in their hands, let the athletes do all the dancing out there and to move the chains. Good drive here so far for the Rebels. This is one of those ones the Kamloops defense now has to tighten up a little bit. The Rebels have the ball at the Kamloops 30. Shotgun from Mason. He's got three receivers to his right. He'll swing past Isaiah Cardelecchia. Made one man miss before he was tackled after a gain of about 5. He's tackled by number 47, Oscar Croucher on the Kamloops. He picked up about 5 yards. Isaiah Cardelecchia is the son of Charlie Cardelecchia, grandson of John, who's the defensive coordinator of the Rebels this year. Right out of Mount Doug High School, which is tremendous to see that connection. So 2nd and 5, hand off to Williams. I think he might have picked up the first down before he was brought to the ground by Darby Kwan. Pretty close here. Head referee saying we might have to measure this. That was a good run. I think from my vantage point, it looks like a first down, but sometimes my eye's a little wonky. So I'll wait for this measurement. Now, again, I want to thank everybody for tuning in to BCFC TV, powered by Remax Kamloops. And if you're, again, looking for more BCFC action tonight, we've got 2 games that both starting at 7 o'clock. Valley Huskers are at Cloud Stadium in Langley for an important game, as well as the first place Raiders, tied for first place Raiders, are up in Kelowna, and Kelowna needs a win. They got upset last week, if you call it an upset, to Langley, and they need to right that ship. And then for the Raiders, it's one of those games that, you know, just solidifies that, yeah, we're a good football team. So if you get a chance, tune on in. Check the PCFC website, and that'll take you to where you need to go to watch those games online. And just got news from the president of the BCFC that they had bus troubles. The Raiders had bus troubles going to Kelowna. Their bus broke down apparently around Hope. There's a nice long pass, just incomplete to Deshaun Greenaway. But I guess the bus broke down around Hope, and they had to wait for another cruiser. So the game tonight in Kelowna has been pushed back to an 8 o'clock kickoff. So an opportunity to watch a little bit of the first game between Valley and the Rams, and then tune on into the Raiders Sun game at 8 o'clock. So hopefully everything was okay, and you know, all those players and support staff that are making those trips to the interior. A couple flags on the play here on that incomplete pass. Just trying to figure out exactly what they're doing. The officials have a lot of conferences. You know, they talk a lot in the change room before the game. They go over what to expect, and then they have them after as they break things down, and they look at film like the teams do. But they sure have a lot of conversations on the field as well. And in my opinion, you know, you got to get it right, but sometimes it sure slows it down. But I support the officials. It's a pretty tough job out there. You know, they're not the youngest guys in the world, and these players are running around full speed, and you know, sometimes you get in the way, you get whacked, and you pull muscles like everybody else does as well. You come sore after the game. You look forward to getting that beverage into you when you're done. So see, these are hold.
Offense, number 75, penalty decline, unnecessary roughness, hands to the face, offense, number 50, 15-yard penalty, 2nd down.
So hopefully everybody heard that. It was a holding penalty against the Rebels that Kamloops declined, but the Rebels were also caught with a hands to the face penalty, which is a UR, which is a 15-yard penalty, which they accepted. So that moves the ball back 15 yards. Will bring up a 2nd down and 25. The ball at the 35-yard line. Kamloops 35. Brown back to pass. Just gets it away, and it wobbled out of his hand. It was picked off by number 30, Dylan Young, and he returns it back about 15 yards, and there'll be a late hit penalty on number 80 there, Nathan Filito. That was a really uncalled for, and that's the type of penalty that the league might look at that could cost him a game or two for unnecessary hit, because you got a player that's injured now because he ran into a fence. You can see on the replay here, the ball just his hand got hit, and it wobbled out. It was overthrown, and Dylan was able to jump on top of it. But it's one of those things that, you know, like, it plays out of bounds. We don't need any of that type of extra stuff. The whistle blew, you're a long way out of bounds, and you push them into a fence, and you take a penalty on it. Now that could cost the Rebels a touchdown. It was a turnover. You move the ball ahead 15 yards from here, or they might just say we're going to throw them out of the game as a 25-yard penalty. And if he's thrown out of the game, it's an automatic look at by the league to decide if there's more action to be taken against a player that is ejected from a game. Officials are discussing this pretty good here. So they just call the unnecessary roughness for the punt, or not a punch, a push out of bounds into the fence area. So that moves up. That's going to move the ball up to approximately midfield. Give the Kamloops Broncos the 1st and 10 at their own 53-yard line, with a minute 58 to go here in the third quarter, and they're down by 12 points. It's an important drive here. If they can take advantage of this turnover and the extra yardage on the UR, they could be feeling pretty good about themselves, and you never know what happens to a team with a lot of confidence. That was a handoff up the middle to Sam Hill, number 23, and he was tackled right away by Jamal Moore-Williams and drove him into the ground for a loss of a yard. I guess it's not for a loss, it would be a loss. That's 2nd down and 11. Van Knet's out quarterback, and the pistol look. He's got Hill behind him. He's got a little bit of a tight end look there to the left, the stand-up tight end. 2 receivers. And overthrows number 25, Trent Price, on the swing pass. And this will bring up a 3rd down and 11. An opportunity, I don't want to say squander, but an opportunity lost, especially after the interception and the 15-yard penalty. So that's going to bring Kuchar on the field for a punt.
Defenders in the stands, good job.
And you're going to have deep, you're going to have Cody Holmes and Asad Sharif. For the Rebels, ball's at the 52-yard line. Kuchar back at about his 38. High snap. Not a bad punt. And Sharif makes the catch. There'll be a 15-yard penalty on top of that as he caught it in the air. That was a good punt, but it was smart on Sharif's part as well to come up and catch that, because there was guys coming down pretty hard. So that ball will move up 15 yards from the point of the catch. And that should put the ball at maybe the 45-yard line, somewhere in there. 43-yard line. We've got 51.7 seconds left to here in the third quarter. Rebels still leading 24-12. Kamloops the only team to put points on the board this half. They've scored 5 on a field goal by Kuchar. It was a 32-yard field goal and a 2-point safety that the Rebels gave them on when they had the ball down deep in their own end. So Brown's still a quarterback. 3 receivers to his right. Swing pass to Kane Stevenson, number 2. Slips a tackle. Another tackle. Slips another tackle. Fumbled the ball, but it dropped right back in his hands. That was a good pickup. It was a pickup for about 23 yards. Oh, they got a roughing the passer penalty added to that, so that's going to move it 15 yards from the end of the play. That's against Kamloops. And you can see he dropped the ball there as he was trying to make the play, and it looks like he's got a cramp. It was a roughing the passer penalty against Kamloops, so that's going to tack another 15 yards on to the end of the run. And that'll put the ball 1st and 10 for the Rebels at approximately the Broncos' 27-yard line. Seconds left here in the half, clock running. Brown in the shotgun. And he gets sacked by number 94, That's Mixon Madland. That's for a loss of 7 or 8. They've got to him a couple times today, but not as much as the Rebels have gotten to Ancona, that's for sure. They got one more play to go here before the end of the quarter. Rebels leading 24-12. Yeah, they don't. Kamloops hasn't really get after the quarterback that often this year. They've only had, I think I've got that written down somewhere here on the sacks. I think they've only had about 3 or 4. So they got there a couple times a day, and there's the second in a row. That's number 60 from Kamloops coming in on Mason Brown there. Damian Person on the sack, which moves the ball back probably out of field goal range. Last play of the quarter. Has the ball at the 40, so that's going to be 3rd down and 23 yards. So when they change ends, I suspect the Rebels will punt. I don't see them trying a field goal. That might be out of Kyle's field goal range, because that would be about a 47, 48 yarder. So at the end of the 3rd quarter, scores Westshore Rebels 24, Kamloops Broncos 12. My name is Paul Short, and I have the honor of bringing you this football action today on BCFC TV, powered by Remax Kamloops. And we thank them for their support and their sponsorship of these broadcasts. Of all the Remaxes that generously, donate time and money for us to bring you these games, and for their support of BC Junior football. Getting a little dark here now, and I think it looks like it's raining up in the hills, so we'll see something on the field pretty soon. I don't see any umbrellas up yet from some of the people, but you got Parkerneck deep, number 7 for Kamloops, along with number 17, Gabe Solowski again. And Ashton McKinnon back to punt. He's standing at his own 54. Good snap. Directional kick. Kicks it to Parkerneck. He'll take the ball. And they'll take a 5-yard penalty on that one as number 24 on the Rebels. That was Ethan Lang got into the neutral zone. So that'll move the ball up another 5 yards, and that'll give the Kamloops a 1st down at about their 25-yard line, I would think, where the officials are standing, and they move it up. Yeah, 24-yard line, looks like. So again, Kamloops is only down by 12. A whole quarter to go here. They've kind of struggled a little bit. They started out moving the ball quite well the first part of the 3rd quarter, but then they kind of bogged down in the last couple drives. They've had good opportunities with some help from penalties and the turnovers, but haven't been able to do anything with them. So here they got the ball, and they moved it up to the 30, so that's going to be 1st and 10 from that point. Hand off to number 23, that's Sam Hill, for a gain of a couple yards, if that, a yard. Bring up 2nd and long, 2nd and 9. Clock running, 14:25 here in the 4th quarter.
We're about half a yard short of second and 11.
Vancouver in the shotgun. He's got Hill behind him. He moves up, going deep. Again, trying to attack that corner spot. Just threw it where nobody was, and I see now they got, along with Cody Holmes, who's playing corner, they put receiver Deshaun Greenaway to play the deep safety. That puts speed and height on those 2 positions for you. But then that also tells me that the Rebels are struggling with some defensive back problems. They're playing players 2 ways. I wouldn't say problems, maybe just there's players not ready for the action. So that's going to bring up a 3rd and 10. Kuchar again to punt. Deep, Sharif and Holmes. I think Cody Holmes, boy, I think he could pitch a 10 out there because he hasn't left the field at all. Drive by later on tonight, he'll probably be sleeping, sitting around the campfire on the field. A short little punt. It was touched by, I think it hit a number 10 on the Broncos. That's Caden Cook, which would cost him a 15-yard penalty for no yards. So I see number 53, Jordan Smith from the Broncos going off the field into the change room under his own steam. So I guess he's exiting the game, but hopefully nothing serious. So the ball moves up 15 yards after the no yards penalty. That's going to give the Rebels 1st and 10 at the Broncos 40-yard line. McKinnon and a quarterback, and a quarterback change here. Balanced set. 2 receivers to his right, 2 receivers to his left. Pitch to Kyle James. Tracked down by number 2, Andrew Barish. For little or no gain. Looks like no gain. Yeah, Barish came out of nowhere just from his defensive back position and just took the angles and cut him down. No, he did lose the yards. Let's bring up second and 11. McKinnon still at quarterback. Clock running. 12:50 to go here in the game. It looks like it's raining out there. I see my wife is the game supervisor and she's got an umbrella up, and it's one of those things, she doesn't like getting her hair wet, so it's a good indicator that it is wet out there. There's a play action pass, and Ashton just rolling to his right, being chased by number 57. That was a nice little play, and number 57 there, there's Darby Kwan was just tracking him down, and McKinnon was lucky enough to throw the ball with incomplete, so that's going to bring up a 3rd and 11, but looks like there's a flag down. What do we got here? Roughing the passer. Roughing the passer against Kamloops, so that's going to move the ball up 15 yards and give the Rebels a fresh set of downs, which should put the ball at approximately the 25-yard line, Kamloops 25-yard line. It's too bad because you're doing all that running and all that chasing, and then you rough the quarterback at the end of the play, and it's kind of like, why would you do that? But it's one of those things that you're going full speed, and your mind's thinking something different. I'm going to tackle you, and sometimes you don't hear a whistle, or your reaction time after the ball's gone is such a small period of time that you just put your hands on him, and if he goes down or if the officials feel it was rough, they're going to throw the flag. You've got to protect the athletes that are there, especially quarterbacks. So that gives the Rebels 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line, Kamloops 26-yard line. McKinnon still a quarterback. Another good reason you got to come out to some junior football. They play some great music in between plays. They're Ashton up under center on this. He's got a big fullback and behind him, and James, I think a complete pass there. Khalil James is moving to his left, wide open on a swing pass. So that brings up a 2nd down and 10 to the incomplete. Yeah, the Rebels are trying to get their stuff going. They, after the resignation of Charlie Karlicki as the head coach, they went back and they didn't redesign or, just like tweak the offensive playbook, and they tweaked the defensive playbook, and just make a little bit different, try to get a little bit different success. And it's going to take some time to get all that timing down and to get all the athletes on the same page. There's a swing pass to Kane Stevenson, and he breaks a couple tackles, and he's in for the touchdown on a really nice run at the end there. He kept his feet, kept everything in front of him, and just as a strength, he just didn't run over guys, but he just sort of ran over guys without having to knock them down. So yeah, you can see on the little swing pass, and he just makes guys miss. Guys aren't, he breaks the tackles, 2 tackles, and just knocks another guy away with his arm to take it into for the touchdown. So that makes the score 30 with the convert to come. Kyle Clark in for the PHE try. And it's up, and it's on the roof. That's good. That makes the score 31-12. Well, that just might have been the touchdown that kind of closes us out for the Rebels. Kamloops really didn't take advantage of any of the opportunities so far in this second half that the Rebels gave them. And then they come away with a touchdown of their own. But they also helped the Rebels out there with a couple penalties that kind of uncharacteristically for those guys, because they are the team that is the least penalized in the league at this point. They only have about 40 penalties in the 10 games, and Rebels have 88, or not in the 10 games, in 4 games, and Rebels have 88 in 4 games. So there's your big difference on that one. And you don't want to hand the ball to a team that has some explosive players such as the Rebels have, and Stevenson and Holmes and those guys. So anyhow, Kyle Clark teeing it up at the 45-yard line, and you've got Skowalski deep along with Pockernick. Long deep, number 7 Pockernick taking it about his 10-yard line. It's another good return, bringing it out to the 40-yard line. That's a good 30-yard run. And it's going to get some excitement and come on out and move the football. So lots of time left. They're only down. What are they down? 3 scores. So you can get back in this thing, but you're going to make some things happen. Then you got to work real hard to make sure you get the ball back if you do score off this. But you can't, in my opinion, you can't come 2 and out here, because it just kind of takes some of the steam out of it if you did have anything in you. So Van Kennett still at quarterback in the shotgun. A little hitch pass to number 81, Theo Duneval. He's knocked out of bounds after it looked like about close to a first down, if not a first down. No, it looks like it came up short, so it'll be about second and less than a yard. 10:30 to go here in the fourth quarter. Yeah, just second and inches. We suspect a quarterback sneak here, just get first down. Hand off to Trent Price, number 25. Move the pile. First down, that's going to move the ball up to their 54. Banking it back to pass, just running out of time. His clock's going, but you can't set the feet. Sometimes the ball is going to set away, and it's going to sort of you can't get the nose down because you're throwing off your back foot. You don't have an opportunity to step into it. So when the Rebels put that pressure on, same thing, same problem that Mason Brown had when he was getting sacked there. He just didn't have time, and everything was coming off the back foot. So anyhow, brings up a 2nd and 10. Kamloops ball at their own 54-yard line. 9:35 remaining in the game. Yeah, the nice pass, number 81, Duvenval. Just 11 yards, first down. Hurry up offense being employed right now. They tried this a couple of times, but in my opinion, I thought that threw them out of sync. They didn't really have any continuity to it. They just lined up and plays didn't work. Nice balance. And the ball ripped out. Kane Stevenson ripped the ball out of his hands. Hill just had a tough run. You can see it on the replay here. If we get a replay up, he just ran through guys, and then Kane Stevenson came up and put a really hard hit on him. You can see here he just maintains his balance. Stevenson hits him there and then just rips the ball out right there. Grabs it. So he gets credited with a forcing a fumble and recovering a fumble. So that nullifies any drive that the Kamloops Broncos were thinking of trying to put together, and the ball turns over the Rebels. So Rebels take possession of their own 33-yard line Ashton McKinnon's at quarterback. Well, James and being on his right side. He's got 3 receivers to his left. Isaiah Karlicki, number 12, on the catch. Knocked out of bounds by number 94, Mixon Madeline. It was like a gain of around maybe 8. I got a flag on the play, far side. That usually indicates an offside or procedures. That's offside against the Rebels. So that'll move the ball back 5 yards, and let's do first down over again at about their own 28-yard line. So you might see the same play here because it picked up about 9 yards, and it's one of those things that, you know, you gotta run it till you stop. They stop you. So anything to the outside like that, it's a success. Ashton McKinnon, he's on the, nobody open, so he's going to use his legs here. He got close to the first down, if not the first down. Being chased down by number 94, Mixon Madeline. You see here, he just, nobody open, so he does what he does best, and I'm going to run. 94 defensive lineman coming over here and just gets a good hold of him, takes him down. Pretty good speed for a defensive lineman in Madeline to make that, track him down like that. But he picked up around, looks like about 10 yards. Let's bring up a 2nd and long 4. 7:30 to go here in the 4th quarter. Rebels leading 31-12. A little shot over the center. Stephen Gillowitz picking up about 17 yards on that. Number 14, Gillowitz. Cole Avery, I think, was in on the tackle. Number 22, number 11, number 37, Josiah Griffith in the tackle. The Rebels get 1st and 10 on the Kamloops 51-yard line. 6:45 to go here in the 4th quarter. Ashton McKinnon still a quarterback. Yeah, just putting that up, let the guy run underneath it, but incomplete, threw a little bit too far. Defensive backs at Kamloops did a good job holding the receivers up as they came across the line. That brings up 2nd and 10. So I'm going to give the win to the Rebels. I think you got it at this point. Kamloops hasn't really threatened to get into the game at this point. So with the 4 points today, that's going to give the Rebels on the season 7, and this will put them in the 2nd place right now. Or so I guess, yeah, 2nd place, because we got 2 teams tied for 1st. After tonight, we're going to find out if they're still tied, or that's a little pass again to Isaiah Karlicki, and he was tackled by Caden Cook, number 10. He picked up about 3 yards, but I would suspect Rebels will punt here on 3rd down. So the Rebels are right back into the mix, and to see what happens tonight is going to have a bearing on where teams go. A Langley win over the Valley will give Langley 6 points. And that keeps them in the right tight in the mix. And the Rebels play Langley next week here at a 4 o'clock game at West Hill Stadium. Kamloops hosts Vancouver Island Raiders next week up in at the university in Kamloops. So it's going to be interesting to see as the season unfolds here, where the teams fall. I think, Kamloops obviously is going to struggle even to make the playoffs. Here's a fake to Rashane Provo on the punt. There's a direct snap. And he picked up the 1st down, but the flag on the play, I'm not sure if that was against Kamloops or against the Rebels. Replay here, if they do put it up, it was just a direct snap to Rashane Provo, and he just did what he does best. He just becomes a runner. Haven't said his name too much today on the defensive side. Yeah, they cut it down and then he just cut back. So pick up the yards, but off offside on the Rebels on the play, so move it back and they'll be punting this time, I would suspect.
Legal procedure on the offense, no end. 5-yard penalty, repeat third down.
I call it a legal procedure for not having 7 men on the line of scrimmage. You have to have 7 on the line. They call it no end. Yeah, so I would suspect McKinnon will be punting this time from his, end up punting from his zone 45, roughly by the time he uses his foot. Skoslovsky and Pakernik deep. There's another, that's a nice punt. It's to Andrew Pakernik. Cuts to his right, cuts back, makes some guys miss. That's a nice return. Oh, dropped the football. It was picked up by number 20. I think it looked like number 20, Connor Elliott, on the fumble recovery, but we do have flags down again.
Who knocked that ball out? Does it look like Andrew Pakernik was really...
Because that was a nice return, Pakernik. It just looks like he just dropped it himself. But it was a nice return. He had a good return going. So we're going to find out what's going on here. I think the Rebels might still have the football. Oh, another no end penalty, 5 yards. So all for naught, the last play. A nice return by Pakernik. Done. Not recorded. The fumble recovery, not recorded. So they'll do it all over again. They'll be kicking the ball. The ball's centered at their own 53-yard line. 5:06 to go here in the fourth quarter. So the game next week between Langley and Westshore is going to be an interesting one. Yeah, see there, they don't have another end in there, I don't think, where they're set up. Again, Pakernik on the reception, and he got smoked. It was picked up by number 44 because it was a fumble to bounce back up, and Case Robert just picked it up, but Pakernik, oh, he's up, he's okay. He got hit pretty good. So with Langley coming in and play Westshore next week, it should be a pretty good game. I would suspect to be the game of the week in the BCFC. Raiders travel to Kamloops, and for Kamloops it'll be a tough one. It depends what happens with the Raiders tonight up in the Okanagan, if they're making back-to-back trips to the interior. And that's tough too, you know, those long trips. And so a couple interesting games coming up in the future. Banking back to pass. Nice catch by number 18, that Tim Solfa. That's for a first down, and pick up 12. But there's, like I said earlier, we got some good action still to come this evening, a 7 o'clock game with the Valley Huskers visiting the Langley Rams. And at 8 o'clock now, because of the bus troubles the Raiders had, the Raiders will take on the Okanagan Sun and Kelowna, and it'll be at 8 o'clock kickoff. All on BCFC TV. Yeah, he just let that one out of his hand, just let it float up there, and both players, but I think they were just kind of locked arm in arm and overthrown. So it's going to be second down. And the ball at the 27-yard line of the Kamloops Broncos.
Holmes and Stevenson, offense and defense, do all. And special teams.
And the quarterback running. Tackled by number 2, Kane Stevenson, for a short gain, but there is a flag on the.
Williams, Kane Stevenson once again. Toledo is also applying the pressure, number 80.
Another officials conference there. Call it offside.
Offside on the defense. We're going to redo second down.
So nullified play, so they'll redo the second down over again. So I'll bring up a second down and 10. 3:26 to go here in the fourth quarter. You're watching BCFC TV, powered by Remax Kamloops. Zavankinen in the shotgun. Another offside play there. It looked like, but I guess it wasn't. Long pass, just out of bounds. Incomplete.
In there again. Stevenson is taking a knee. And we need the King.
Number 2, Kane Stevenson. He looked like he hurt his wrist or something, or an elbow. So he's down. He can walk, but yeah, the way he's holding his arm, he was just, took a hit on a wrist bone or something, or his hand, slapping the ball away. So that was an incomplete pass, and that's going to bring up 3rd and 10 for Kamloops. And it looks like they might be staying out, the offense staying out there. Setting it up. Looks like they're got an empty backfield. Get the extra blockers in. Looks like they got a tight end to their right. Not sure if he'd be trying to roll, get the quarterback rolling. Long pass. That's the number 17. Gabe Skolowski for the first down. Nice long pass and catch.
Big pressure on the guys in the back there. Relay, Holmes.
Just puts it up here, and he just went up and got it. He was in double coverage. Greenaway came over his back, but Skolowski came up with the ball. Nice catch. It's a first-class catch for sure. So we're at the 3-minute warning. Rebels leading 31-12. Looks like the rain has stopped.
Timer. Please reset to 3 minutes.
Yeah, they're setting the clock to 3 minutes. And it'll start on the whistle, an inbound play. Looks like they might have to adjust the ball here because or adjust the chain because they're kind of off on the angle here. Yeah, that looks better. All right, now we're ready to go. Mankinet in shotgun again. He's been there 99% of the time today. He's had happy feet, a lot of happy feet in the second half to get away from the pressure from the Rebels. So that was an incomplete pass. Bring up 2nd down and 10 from the Rebels' 52-yard line. 2:45 to go. But one thing for sure, the number 10, Cody Holmes, offensively, kick return, as well as defensively, he's been around the ball all day. It's a pitch and catch with number 81, Dunenwald. I think it's a first, if not, it's close to it. I think they're taking a look at it. I'm saying 3rd down, just shy of the first. I think you'll see a quarterback sneak here. Dropped the ball, but whistle hadn't blown, so it was a null play. It's a pretty long yard they got to get. The referee blows it in. Illegal play coming up. Number 25, Trent Price, picking up a good gain of around 13 yards. Gives Kamloops the first down. Kamloops has only scored this year so far 48 points, so just above their average of 10. So score here, that'll help a little bit. And giving up the most yards as well, 188 in 4 games, or points. So just around the 45 mark. Incomplete pass intended there for Solfa. That'll be second down and 10. Ball's at the Rebels' 30-yard line. 2 minutes and 15 seconds to go here in the ball game. Yeah, sometimes it's just, as I'm watching it right now, it's game's over. It's kind of, it's sloppy. Everybody's in the let's get out of here mode. Again, guys, good coverage downfield. Throwing in the double coverage here. And just caught that out of, I think he was out of bounds. Oh, they're saying it was a touchdown. Number 19 on the reception, Darian Pritchard. I think the angle I was at, I couldn't sure if he got that back foot down, but the officials say he did. You can see on the replay here, he knew he was going to go deep. He's got to go to the end zone at some time, and he just puts it up at the angle the camera's at. This might be the good angle to say he was inbounds or out of bounds. Foot down. I don't know if he had possession. I don't think he had possession of the ball, but that's okay. I think he had the foot down before he had the ball, and then back trail leg didn't get down. But there is no replay in junior football, so score stands, and that makes the score 31-18, and going for 2 points here. You could almost run this one. Oh, that was a nice catch by number 81, Duenval. So that was a 2-point convert thrown in there. So good on the Kamloops for keep chugging and working. So 2:05 to go, score 31-20.
11 points. Showing on the board. 2 minutes. You know, in the Canadian game of football, it's not impossible.
So we're going to see an onside kick here for sure. This is something that you get an opportunity to try in a real game, because you can't do much in practice. You can just try the kick and everybody doing what they think they're going to do to work on it, but to get the contact and to find out what a team does, it's the best time to work on it is late in games and different things like that. And for some coaches, some of them feel it's like a rub-in, but in a game like this, obviously you need to try the 2-point convert for the onside kick. When you do it, sometimes the coaches get upset that you know, you're rubbing it in, but you're not. You're practicing it. This one's a little bit too deep. Anyway, Deshaun Greenaway takes the ball, and he's got the whole left side to work with here. He can return this if he gets some help, some good blocking. Yeah, brought down by number 82, Evan Guzzo. But he unfortunately had, I think he had a horse collar tackle on the end of this. This is a good run. He got some good blocking, and Greenaway, he's got a good athlete. You know, he's strong. But at the end here, you see number 82 just gets a hold of the back of the jersey, and that's what they call the horse collar tackle, which is a UR, move the ball up 15 yards and give the Rebels first down at about the 25-yard line, I would think, with 1:54 to go. Yeah, so the Rebels have first and 10 at the Kamloops 25. Ashton McKinnon still a quarterback. waiting for the officials to blow this in. Kamloops calling a timeout. It's their last, I believe, of the game. I think they're short guys. That's why they've had some injuries today, so that might have a bearing on who's playing. When you travel, you don't normally travel with a full team based on bus capacity. That's usually how you do it, and save some money instead of bringing a bunch of vehicles down along with the bus with extra players. So you have your travel squad, and when somebody gets injured or is unable to play late in the game, it's you got to sort of tune up the other guys to say that you're taking this, and sometimes they forget about it. Sometimes they're just not listening because they're talking to somebody else. Anyhow, Rebels first and 10, 25-yard line. Minute 54 to go here in the ball game. A pitch to Kalal James, moving to his right. And a good tackle by number 31, Joey Heistad. Yeah, pick up about 4-3. And the Rebels are hurry-up offense here, which is interesting. Going to Greenaway, just overthrown. Faked the pitch going to the left and came back to Greenaway, who was had good coverage by Caden Cook on him. He was just overthrown. Yeah, a little of sportsman or gamemanship, I guess, if you will, between the two coaches, because both Coach Yamoka, Kamloops, and Coach Beatty from the Rebels, they're both Kamloops guys. They grew up in Kamloops, born and raised in Kamloops. So we're going to have Kyle Clark come on. He's going to try a 30-yard field goal. He's already hit a 30-yarder today. This will be a second if he's good on this one. Kick is up. Kick is good. Good front push by the... So that makes the score 34-30. Kamloops had a good rush on that one. They just didn't get to the ball. So I would think that the Kamloops, they're going to ask for the kickoff. And Kyle Clark will have a chance to boot it again. It's 45. Kowalski's deep, along with number 88, and that is Ian Finstad. Pockernick, I guess, on that last punt, they might have got nicked up a little bit, and the coaches just say, "No, sit down. We need you to get nicked up again." So, minute 30 to go. Rebels up 34-20. You're watching BCFC TV, powered by Remax Kamloops, and we thank you for joining us this afternoon. Good kick. That's going to Finstad. It was a good return. He was tackled by number 38, Robert Modi. Yeah, picked up about 20 yards on that return, so it gives Kamloops the football. First and 10 at their own 34-yard line.
Your team has showed a lot of spirit and heart today.
Quarterback. Drop back to pass again. Just a little happy feet. Just get himself out of trouble. Again on the running side of it, it's hard to make those completions. That was incomplete, so I bring up second and 10. Ball at their own 34-yard line. Minute 17 to go. Back to pass. And that's going to be a penalty. Another incomplete pass, but ET came in a little hard and threw the shoulder into him, and that'll be a roughing the passer penalty. Again, one of those penalties he'll need to do. You see here, he's running for his life basically. He's not comfortable sitting back there now with the pressure the Rebels have put on him, and he's seen it all day. And this penalty at the end there, that's one of those things you don't need to do. But unfortunately for the Rebels, that's kind of been how they built their team. Is they don't care, And hopefully Coach Beatty's going to be able to, create a different type of atmosphere here that penalties like that are going to hurt. But if you took that penalty where the score was 12-12, or 20-20, and then you end up losing a game because of a silly penalty like that. But those are those learning curve things that Coach Beatty's going to be in their faces about for sure.
Illegal block, offense number 25, unnecessary roughness, roughing the passer, 44 on the defense, 5-yard penalty, first up.
So because of the 10-yard penalty, they take the difference, but the UR always takes precedent over a lesser penalty, if you will, and that generates the first down. Anytime there's a UR, it's always going to be a first down after the call. So I got a minute 8 to go. Kamloops just trying to get into the end zone. That was a nice pitch and catch. That was beautiful. Step out of bounds. That was to number 3, Matt White. Just a great pass. That was one of the best passes he's thrown all day. Reeds had been on the run a lot, but you can see in this one, he just stands in, steps up, and throws it. And he's able to step forward and put zip on the ball. So that gives them a first down. It was a nice long pass. They got the ball now at the Rebels' 38-yard line. 1st and 10, 1 minute exactly to go. He doesn't get happy feet, throw the ball. Again, that's one of those ones you just throw it over the line of scrimmage and no harm, no foul. You start all over again. Well, they haven't had to turn the lights on. The game's going to get done without the lights coming on because it is pretty dark here right now. But there's only 53 seconds left in the game, and Kamloops is looking at a 2nd down and 10. Reed's been on the run this whole second half. And because of that, another penalty coming from somewhere was thrown by the umpire. It's either a hold. Looks. They got a hold by Kamloops call. See Coach Beatty probably say march him back, take him out of field goal range. That'll bring up a 2nd down and 20. A lot of times when your quarterback does leave the pocket and he starts running around, players don't know where he is because their blocking scheme is set to say you got stay there and throw the football, and start running around and you start grabbing guys because you see guys going away and you're going, where are you going? So you grab them a little bit. And some officials are a little more lenient with it, but sometimes you get the arms around them. It's pretty tough. They're going to call it all the time. Got a cut on a chop block there. That was a 1st down run, but they got a penalty here where not sure what Rebel that is on the ground. Tanner Hayward, you can see here on the play, he gets chopped down just right there, and that might be the call.
That's number 12 down.
Yeah, it took quite a blow. That was Tanner Hayward, the linebacker. The result of the play was a 1st down, but I would suspect this is coming back because of that low block. 34 seconds left in the game. And they call a penalty against that for that block.
Tanner Hayward, number 17, is down. That's Hayward.
Yeah, they're slowly taking the low blocks out of the game. A lot of players get hurt. They took it years and years ago. They took the low block out on a change of possession and on the kicking game. You've seen less injuries, and now it's slowly working to where you can't cut anybody below the waist, downfield, past the line of scrimmage, and it's a good thing, because when you see players laying on the ground because they've been hit like that, it's not a good feeling. And we only have these players for a very short time in their lives, and we don't want them leaving junior football where it's the worst experience they ever had, because they've have troubles with their knees or ankles or whatever for the rest of their lives. And same thing about concussions. There's a concussion protocol that the CJFL goes through, and you're always on the looking out for the players that that do have that contact with the head and with the helmet, and because we don't know exactly what's going to happen down the road. And you play 2 years or a year or 3 years of junior football, you could have a lot of problems later in your life if the rules don't change to start to protect these guys, and everybody diligently deal with it and make sure that they're doing everything they can to abide by the rules and to help these guys. And I think it is a knee injury, or a knee, definitely at the knee. But again, then sometimes you get whacked, and there's a lined up where they need to be, so there's no penalties. One more play, and this game will be in the books with a 34-20 victory by the Westshore Rebels over the Kamloops Broncos in the second ever 4-point game in the BCFC. So at the end of the year, when you look at the standings, it's going to have they've been asterisk beside these two teams' names, as they'll only play 9 games, but one of them is worth 4 points. So there's your ball game, ladies and gentlemen. Final score again, Westshore Rebels 34, Kamloops Broncos 20. It's an interesting second half. Kamloops came out and they were able to move the football, and they did come away with a field goal and a safety in the third quarter, and the Rebels didn't score anything. And then they scored another touchdown to get in it, but then the Rebels came back, and Kane Stevenson scored, and they on a 51-yard run, and then Kyle Clark finished it off with another 30-yard field goal, his second of the game. It's for both these teams. It kind of lines some of the extra stuff up when it comes to playoff time, with the Rebels now moving into second place as it stands right now, based on what's going to happen this evening. Kamloops, unfortunately, it's their 5th loss in a row, and it's their 10th loss, 14th loss, sorry, in their last 14 games or something. But it's going to change some of the dynamics as we move forward for the next couple of weeks, because the Rebels have an important game coming up. Kamloops has an important game coming up, because Kamloops technically can still catch the Okanagan Sun. If the Sun lose tonight and Kamloops gets hot, and they showed some flashes today, in my opinion, that they're not far from putting all this together. Some things could start to shake a little bit, and it'll be interesting as we move towards the end. And again, the champion of the BCFC hosts the Ontario champion in the CJFL semifinal, and the winner of that game heads to the winner of the Prairies on November 17th for the Canadian Championship, the Canadian Bowl. So again, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. My name is Paul Short, and I want to thank BCFC TV, powered by Remax Kamloops, for allowing us to do this broadcast today. And I hope you enjoyed this junior football action. And if you have any chance tonight, tune on in. You got the 2 games, Valley at Langley at 7 o'clock kickoff, and the Vancouver Island Raiders up in Kelowna to take on the Sun at 8 o'clock. Again, thank you very much. I want to thank the crew, the camera guys, everybody that puts these things together, because it's kind of fun. I do have a good time doing this, and it's one of those things that I come to the park and I think, yeah, I love junior football, so that's the way it goes. But again, thank you very much, and again, thank you to BCFC TV, powered by Remax, for this broadcast. Good night.
My pappy said, son, you're gonna drive when you're drinking. If you don't stop driving,
Great mind, it doesn't cover, they were standing still.